got the little man, you got the big man, and you got the bigger man.
What's going on, everybody, on a beautiful Sunday night? It is I, kellennitro, here for Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited, coming at you live from Nitromaniac HQ. We're going to be breaking down Money in the Bank 2024 that happened in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. A little bit here later on the live stream. I'm going to bring in our first guest tonight. If you don't know how the show works, I am the hardcore wrestling fan. We bring in the Laps fan right now, which is Mr. TL. How you doing, sir?
What up? What up? We are back after 2 months. We are here talking wrestling. I am a very changed man. For as you can see, my lovely team behind me, the Oilers, since last time we spoke, lost the Stanley Cup in 7 games.
Yes.
I've been grumpy ever since. I've not been happy. I have also become a very lapsed wrestling fan, as we've had a lot of hockey to go through, and now sustained with soccer.
Yes.
And it's hot.
It is hot.
It's hot.
As you can tell by my face, it's quite hot. Yes.
Yes. I'm looking at a very red tomato-faced man.
Very red tomato face, yes.
You look like the mascot of Red Lobster.
Yeah.
But we are back. I am here on my bullshit. So let's do this.
Yes, absolutely. So, you were talking about being lapsed. I'm about to become the lapsed wrestling fan for the next month and a half here because racing season has started big time. And so my other channel, tinyurl.com/dragfiles is picking up steam. We've got our first real major huge event coming up next weekend that we're going out to cover. So looking forward to that. Rocky Mountain Nationals out at Rad Torque Raceway. But that's next weekend. This past weekend, or yesterday, I should say, was Money in the Bank 2024 in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The date was July the 6th at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. And so by you being lapsed, you didn't catch anything from like Clash at the Castle or the Saudi show, obviously, or anything like that.
I have not watched wrestling since the last time we did this show,
which was Backlash in France back in April.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. That was the last time I watched wrestling.
Yeah. And that's the last time I think anything's really been on this channel at all. So there we go. In any substance, that's on me. That's totally on me because stuff picked up and everything. And of course, talking about the Oilers Stanley Cup run, I was involved in that in my own production giggy type way and that stuff and everything. An experience that I'll totally not trade it in for the rest of my life. That was just so much fun and such a great time and such a great part to be a part of and that stuff. But it's summertime, I can focus back on my hobbies, which this being one of them. So there we go. Great. My hands are going all over the place. There.
You don't know what to do with your hands, do you?
I don't know where to put my hands. I'm like, I don't know where to put my hands. But
keep them on the keyboard where they belong, sir.
Yes. Money in the Bank 2024. As you can see, that's the men's Money in the Bank match. That opened the show. Yes, that opened the show on the pay-per-view where we had Drew McIntyre taking on Andrade, taking on Carmelo Hayes, taking on Chad Gable, taking on Jey Uso and LA Knight. This was the Money in the Bank ladder match for the men's championship match contract. Anytime championship match, anywhere. And before we get going with that, it's back. Oh, yes, it's back. It's Undertaker. Below me is the Nitromaniac TV Undertaker with all the news and results from last night's Money in the Bank 24 pay-per-view. So, anyway, there we go. So, but yeah, the opening contest was the men's Money in the Bank match. Again, this is the new matchmaking I find with WWE, where there's not a whole lot of BS on these premium live events. They'll give you a real marquee opening match now to open the pay-per-view, and it's a lot of fun to see and a lot of fun to experience. It really, it's such a how can I put it? It's such a 180 or 360, I should say, from previous years where you get like a real lame opener to open a pay-per-view or something like that.
180. 360 would mean you're right back where you started.
180 then.
There you go. That's a turn.
There we go. Yeah, a turn. So there we go. But but you get what I'm saying, right? It's not you can't afford not to miss the opening match on these PLEs anymore. You have to be there for the opening contest.
Yeah, they've cut the fat.
They have. Yeah. They have. Definitely. I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's noticed that. So there we go. But yeah, this contest was 16 minutes and 30 seconds. And Drew McIntyre is your 2024 men's Money in the Bank winner. Hold up on that, though. We'll get to more about that later because while he is the 2024 Money in the Bank winner, he does not currently have the Money in the Bank briefcase. And we'll talk about that later on. But thoughts on this contest from what you've seen?
Okay, very first of all, I want you to look at the in behind us, the graphic we have in the back. Doesn't Carmelo Hayes' head look like a Cinnabon?
Yes.
Look at it.
And now I am quite hungry.
I don't know. You put us back over it. You can put it, and I can't unsee it. He looks like a cinnamon bun head.
Is that like the place that's all in all the malls? Cinnabon, right?
Okay. In America, yes, it's Cinnabon.
Cinnabon, yeah.
In Canada, I believe it's called Cinzio.
Cinzio, okay, yes.
But we all call it Cinnabon anyways. I don't know why they don't just become the same thing.
Because there's a Cinnabon at West End, and that's like our big mall, and
it's a Cinzio.
Is it a Cinzio now?
Totally is.
A Cinnabon.
That's what I'm telling you.
Huh. Okay.
We should just all call it Cinnabon because we do anyways. Cinzio. Because we don't call it that anyways.
I also find that their cinnamon buns are highly overpriced.
Oh yeah, them shit's gone up and up and up since I was a kid.
It's legit like $20 for a 6-pack.
Okay, maybe just get one and be happy.
Yeah.
Just one big one.
Just one giant one. But even a giant one, I think it's like $8.99 or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, is when you only just get the one big hot one and you eat it there.
Yeah.
And it's like $7.50 now. I'm like, woo.
Ooh,
damn.
Yeah, I know. The price for everything's gone up.
It's ridiculous.
Like freaking bubbly's $5.49. I'm like, it's flavored water.
Buble?
Flavored water. Buble. Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. And I am not sponsored by these people whatsoever. If you like bubbly, get your ass a Soda Stream.
Soda Stream, yes. I have to
get a Soda Stream. Yeah. Fill it up with whatever water you want. I prefer if you get the 4-liter tank, the gallon tank of spring water.
Yes.
Then you could fill it up with fresh water, cold water.
Yeah.
Put it in the machine and then add whatever flavor you want to it.
Or just use your tap water, but you still
No. If you use the good stuff, you get a better product in the end.
Okay. Fair enough.
And it's always cold. Like it's ice cold because you've had it in the fridge.
Yes.
The colder the water is, the better the soda works.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like carbonation happens better when it's damn near frozen, but still a liquid. Fun fact, more fun than this match. Because by the way, have you ever watched a Money in the Bank match before?
Several times, yes.
Well, then you've seen them all.
Yeah.
You've seen one, have seen them all.
It is what it is. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I kind of hate that this is a pay-per-view.
It's a themed pay-per-view. It's the match type. So this is where WrestleMania has the Royal Rumble now. SummerSlam has Money in the Bank leading up to it.
Yeah, I know, but I mean the fact that
the road to SummerSlam
pay-per-view devoted to this match, instead of the match being special, it's like, oh well, we just get one every year now, no matter what. It's like, what are they going to do this year? How are they going to line up the ladders? Who's going to run up the ladder? Who's going to dive through a ladder? Who's going to dive off a ladder? How many ladders are they going to use? Are they going to bring in tables? How about some chairs? Is there interference? Are they going to use a crowbar? It's the same shit every time.
Well, when we get to the women's ladder, Money in the Ladder match, I have a lot to say about that. But with this one, I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was okay.
This is supposed to steal a show. It used to steal a WrestleMania. Now it's the opening match of a pay-per-view named after this match, and it was, we've seen it before.
I think the women's stole the show, but not in all the right reasons. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. But
for this match, what was so special here?
Basic, and the fact that they've basically we'll elaborate on this when we get to its beat in the show, but that this was another stepping stone in the Drew McIntyre CM Punk tete-on-tete that's currently happening, where they can't really do anything physically with Punk because he's still healing, but yet he's still on their show and so on and so forth, and you still got to use him to build up the SummerSlam and everything like that with the eventual return match, which would be, it's going to be Punk McIntyre when he start. Yeah. Or when he comes back, I should say, when he comes back. So yeah, I didn't like that Drew won it just for that thing, because every time that happens, they use the Money in the Bank as a storyline beat. It kind of defeats the purpose of having the Money in the Bank winner or the Money in the Bank itself for the year, because to me, the Money in the Bank should be treated a little bit as a security blanket, i.e. if either one of your champions go down with an injury and cannot continue or has to relinquish the belt, there's your Money in the Bank winner. Oh, it's an opportune time for the Money in the Bank winner to cash in. They have the contract, they cash in. There's your safety net right there. And then you can decide what to do with the belt after.
No.
You avoid.
Look, if your champion goes down, you could do whatever you want. You can hand the title to somebody, and now you have the chosen one storyline.
Yeah.
You can have a tournament.
That's true. That too.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a safety blanket to me. It's just another option.
Yeah.
And it's not needed when you want to have a champion hold the belt for a long time.
But you know what I mean? Is that it just feels like it's wasted this year with Drew winning.
Okay. Yes, it was wasted, but at the same time, I feel like this match is done. It has run its course.
Okay.
Either stop doing this or do it less frequent so that it becomes special when they do it. But
so you'd like to see it become like a specialty match, maybe once every 2 WrestleManias or something like that.
Yes, make it a special event, not a fixed event.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fixed event where it's like, oh, well, we know what's going to happen every single year.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think they do have all the old WCW licenses and that stuff. They could probably run back one of those WCW shows as the July pay-per-view per se, between, I guess May is the new Saudi spot, and then you roll through into SummerSlam and that stuff. Although there was one year where we had did we not have, like, I think there was the Saudi show and then nothing until SummerSlam? Something like that, I think. A few years ago we did that. Yeah. So, you could even do that. I didn't mind that at all, because, you're building up to SummerSlam being your WrestleMania of the summer, which it should be. So, but that's that. So, wrote some notes down. I got good pops for Jay, LA Knight, and a huge CM Punk chant for Drew. Some oh my god bumps here in the match as always.
Don't forget the "you suck" chants.
Yeah, the "you suck" chants. Yes, exactly. Surprised we didn't see anything between Gable and the Wyatt Six happen during that match. There's no reference to that at all, other than passing mention during the thing. So
here's the thing.
I was half expecting him to be carried away by Uncle Howdy or something like that,
So here's the thing. Because I haven't watched in the past 2 months or more, I didn't see the Uncle Howdy thing.
Yeah.
I kind of just saw it in passing on Twitter as I was just scrolling.
Yeah.
And so them not being on this pay-per-view, I have no idea of their existence.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Probably a bad thing that you apparently had this big return of a character, but then you have a pay-per-view and people watch and they're not there.
It's been entertaining, but their targets have been kind of suspect that they've picked. Like for whatever reason, they've singled out Chad Gable for the past couple of weeks. And it's
you couldn't
still
tell that by watching this match.
Yeah, it's weird, but here's your assignment. I will be the teacher, you will be the student, and I will give you an assignment.
Okay.
If you can, watch a little bit of Raw tomorrow night, and if they pop out, tell me what you think. It's in Ottawa, at least, so it's Canadian.
It's too long. I'm hot.
Well, PVR it. What you do is you PVR it, and then you just fast forward through the bits you don't like.
Okay, funny enough, that's kind of what I did here with Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Is I didn't watch it live. I went
and that works great for that.
Yeah. You watch it after the fact, and I watched it on ×3.
Yeah.
So I finished the whole pay-per-view in like less than an hour.
Yeah. You get it done in an hour if you have to. Yeah, exactly. I think the stats on this thing is like there was an actual like an hour 15 or hour 20 of in-ring action throughout the entire thing. If you sped through all the talky bits and the entrances and
funny enough, I didn't speed through a certain talking bit.
Yes.
I played it in regular speed. One of the talking bits.
Well, when we get to that, let me know.
Yes, I will.
Yes, exactly. So, the thing I did laugh at though, Chad Gable left hanging on top of the. This was the end of the match, by the way. This made me laugh. Chad Gable left hanging from the Money in the Bank briefcase, and it just kind of dropped face first onto the ground.
Yo, that's a hell of a bump.
That was a hell of a bump, but I laughed. I sat at the big.
Man, listen. I want everyone to understand something.
Chad Gable's a gamer. I love that guy.
But I mean, to fall from that height face first, holy crap.
What an athlete.
Well, how do you not have internal bleeding?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's what I'm talking about. Listen, anybody who watches this match, I can see, like, if you've watched these matches, you start to get very desensitized to it.
Uh-huh.
All these car crashes and falling into ladders and being hit by them and landing on them. Imagine you have a ladder at home.
Yeah, a tall one.
An aluminum ladder.
Yes.
Something that you actually use to open up and climb to get to the ceiling or to the top of a wall or whatever in your house.
Yep.
They are using that same ladder in this match. It can be lesser quality if you say so, but it still has to be able to support a 300-pound human to go up these ladders down these ladders.
Yep.
Imagine being slammed onto one of those ladders. It is not soft.
No.
There is no cushion.
Yes.
There is no give. It is landing on a very hard metal object. I mean, and people just go, "Oh, there he goes again."
I mean, people, people that watched the post show and that stuff last night saw several participants in that match and even a women's match come out of the dressing room, but they're hauling their bags and that stuff, and they're they might be limping to sell the injuries they got and that stuff, or they might be legit limping, and it's a kind of there's no reports of any severe injuries today from any of the from WWE at all for anybody on the show or anything like that. But there's definitely minor bumps and bruises from everybody involved in this, especially when we get to the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
What I mean is, we're just so desensitized to this stuff. Like, it's just like common ground. Let me explain something to you. This is from my bar. This is called Hawthorne Strainer.
Okay.
You usually use it on the top of the metal cylinder to strain out your drinks from the ice or from whatever garnishes you've thrown in there, like a margarita.
Yeah.
If someone slams me on this little Hawthorne strainer, I'm going to be in so much pain. I'm going to call into work tomorrow. I might be off for a week with this giant bruise in wherever I landed.
Right.
Now imagine a ladder
with the grading and everything on it. No, thank you.
Like, it's unthinkable.
Yeah.
How we just take the shit for granted.
Yeah. Not...
The spots that these guys do on freaking ladders, and it's just like, that's wrestling.
Yeah.
We are so desensitized to it, and that's because this match is too common.
Yes.
It needs to be more special, and it needs to be treated with more sincerity.
Mm-hmm.
The guys in this match should not appear on Raw tomorrow. They should be bandaged up from head to toe.
Yeah.
But we're all going to see them tomorrow. They're all going to be fine.
Yeah.
It's this lack of realistic thinking that just bugs the hell out of me.
So,
and that's what I have to say about this match.
Yeah, Chad Gable left hanging, then Jey Uso has his hands on the briefcase, but he gets the ladder thrown at him by Drew like a javelin, and McIntyre climbs the ladder, and he's your new Money in the Bank winner for 2024. There was some sort of tie-in with the boys' Amazon Prime series with the Money in the Bank briefcases this year and that stuff. They had like some sort of trademark from the boys on them or something like that, or some sort of like corporate thing from
I don't know. They were advertising their show, and it was all over the background thing.
Yeah, so
the
whatever, great.
Railing.
Yeah, and then one of the, I guess, like the main baddie from the show, or the main villain popped in after and basically demeaned Canada and then signed off. So whatever. I'd have to watch the series to know what she means. I haven't seen it.
Is John Cena on that show?
No, John Cena's on Peacemaker.
Oh,
yes.
Never watched it.
No, never seen that one either. So I'm sorry, I don't live in the streaming TV world like some people do. I just don't. I don't have time for it.
I ain't got money to keep up with all these streams.
I find live sports vastly more entertaining than.
And that is a big thing that we need to talk about here. How in 2 months we had real sports completely wipe out any need to watch wrestling.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I became, again, a completely lapsed fan in this time. Mm-hmm. And maybe this goes back to what I was saying long ago. They should treat pro wrestling more like it's a sport than it is a comedy sketch.
Yes.
Because sports are entertaining. I don't think they understood that back in the day, or maybe they lost their way somewhere in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
People will come back for sports and will come back for who's going to win.
Yes.
If there's something on the line or there's something to gain. People like sports. Yep. I don't know why wrestling became a friggin' comedy act.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear you. If anybody wants to get interactive with us, we are broadcasting out to Facebook on a few channels here. We are broadcasting out to YouTube for the Nitromaniac TV Wrestling Unlimited channel, for my Twitter as well, at kellennitro. And I think we might also be on Instagram, potentially, something like that. But supposedly with the Twitter, X, and Instagram, all you got to do is just comment underneath the video, and we'll read your comments and we'll get them in our full comment box here. That's everywhere else. There are comment sections. So throw your questions up. We'll get to them at different points during the show. I see that there's quite a few of you watching tonight via the old Twitter X. And so I'd love to say welcome. And this is our recap of last night's Money in the Bank show in Toronto. So we roll on. The Intercontinental title is the next contest we've seen. This one was between the champion, Sami Zayn, and the challenger, Braun Breaker, a.k.a. Baby Steiner. And this thing ran 13 minutes and 15 seconds, and Sami Zayn defeats Braun Breaker by pinfall, ending, I guess Braun Breaker had quite the undefeated streak since he got called up in the draft to Raw. So that kind of derails that. I didn't think Breaker looked bad in the match at all. I still think that they're going to use him for mid-card shenanigans and that stuff throughout the summer. And then see where his footing is in the fall and that stuff. If we see him in other opportunities and that stuff, all this allows us to do is that we'll see him probably in the Intercontinental title chase for the next few months, because they seemed like they had some pretty good chemistry in there. The match was quite watchable. I thought it was a firm, solid contest. I didn't think it was boring at all. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was okay. So
I actually thought it was a great match.
Yeah.
This is a great match. Sami Zayn is such a absolute genius when it comes to playing the guy who comes from behind to win.
Mm-hmm.
He is so good at it. He is so over with it.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Breaker looks like a really good powerhouse wrestler.
Oh, yes.
And he's going to have great matches with any other powerhouse. I can already see it. Like, him and Gunther will be a good match. Him and Jacob Fatu is going to be a good match down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If he ever comes back, I don't think he will, but him and Big E would be a supreme match.
Oh, that's big meaty man slapping meat.
Big meaty man slap meat.
Yes.
Him and Brock Lesnar would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, they have a really good power wrestler in the group who can actually wrestle, he's a great athlete, and he gets it. He understands wrestling. He comes from a wrestling background with his father and his uncle.
Dead leaps Frankensteiner, where he takes a run, leaps up to the top turnbuckle, and does a Frankensteiner. You know how tall those turnbuckles are on the WWE rings and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you're on the apron and that stuff, that's what, maybe a good 4 foot, 5 foot dead jump you have to manage.
Yep. And the person taking a Frankensteiner has to be seated on the top rope.
He's like a cat.
Yeah. Like a really big cat.
Like a apex predator kitty.
Like, we talking like a lion, like a liger.
Like a tiger.
Liger
tiger.
A liger is a mix of a lion and a tiger.
Okay. Napoleon, whatever you say there.
Oh,
God. Damn it.
God. But either way, he's going to be amazing in the future. I keep looking at him and him wearing his stupid spandex gear with the multicolors, like his dad.
Well, it's a tribute to his dad and his uncle.
Right, but to me, watching that as a kid, they weren't cool in that gimmick whatsoever.
No.
I always hated that gimmick. They look like idiots.
No.
Once Scott Steiner dyed his hair, started wearing chainmail, and sounded like a complete moron, that was the best.
So
you're not gonna get a ring. You better say your prayers. What? Did you just say your prayers? Yeah. Like, just a bumbling mess of a human on roids with tennis balls in his biceps.
So you're waiting for Braun Breaker's Big Papa Pump moment, is what you're saying.
Basically, I'm waiting for him to break out into a character.
Wait a few years. I think within 3 to 5 years he'll have that moment.
Yeah, once he figures out his character besides I'm angry amateur wrestler man. I can't wait.
Which is scary enough as it is. The dude's legit flipping Sami Zayn in the ring like it's like a bag of garbage last night. It's insane. So
but I just want him to become the character that he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Sooner than later.
Yeah. I mean,
because it's going to be money as soon as it hits.
Oh, it will. It will.
Well, I don't say it will, because you never know. Everybody's different. Not everybody can take a gimmick and run with it.
Yes,
some people just flounder forever being the gimmick that they want. Ricochet. They just flounder being the gimmick that they want to be forever.
I've seen enough of Braun Breaker in the past here, over the past year or so, or past couple of years, I should say. I think, what was it? When was the Mania in Dallas, the most recent one? That was 21, I think, something like that.
Is that the one where Kevin Owens wrestled Stone Cold?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2021. Well, the NXT Stand and Deliver, him and Dolph Ziggler had a clinic, and I was like, yeah, okay, Braun Breaker's here to stay in that stuff. So my prediction is within the next 3 to 5 years, he's going to be a breakout, and he'll be in the main event picture sooner rather than later.
My God, you can be an amazing wrestler and performer, but if you don't have a character, you will end up like Dolph Ziggler.
Can Ricochet? Guy has no gimmick. Well,
exactly.
He has no job right now.
Exactly. Well, he will. He'll be on AEW where he could jump around and not use a microphone and sound like an idiot and look like a nothing. and just have all the flips he wants with Ostrich, whatever his name is.
Osprey.
Did I call him Ostrich?
Yes.
Same shit.
Will Ostrich.
Will Ostrich.
Here are the notes from last night that I got down. That was the Baby Steiner's first attempt at main roster gold. Yes, that was his first title match since being drafted to Raw of any sort. Here was an interesting tidbit. I picked this up during the broadcast. Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker are two of the 3 men who have beaten Gunther since his WWE debut. Mr. TL, can you name for me the third person? There are 3 men who have beaten Gunther since his WWE debut.
So you're saying one is Braun Breaker,
Mm-hmm.
one is Sami Zayn, 2 is Sami Zayn.
Yes, and there is a third.
Dragunov.
You got it.
Yeah.
That's it. The match you showed me from NXT UK some years back between
God, that was a brilliant match.
Gunther and Dragunov. That is just I watched that one and I'm like, man, that is a treat. Mm-hmm. And you know what else is a treat too? We always bring him in when he shows up, and he is officially showing up.
Oh wow. No way.
Yes.
First of all, what a segue. Second of all, no way.
Yes.
Is he here?
He is here.
Is he here?
Ladies and gentlemen, the lights have dimmed and entering the arena from Glasgow, Scotland.
You gotta be kidding me.
It's CraigPFraser.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in CraigPFraser. I believe in CraigPFraser.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
I wanted to clap, but I don't know that song.
You better clap.
I don't know the song.
How do you not know that song? It's everywhere right now.
Who is it?
It's Joe Hendry.
Who?
Say his name and he appears.
That's Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
Who the hell is Joe Hendry?
Who the hell?
Oh.
He's like the biggest wrestler in the world right now. He showed up at NXT, I guess. I saw the clip. That was pretty big stuff.
Is that
what we're talking about?
Right now?
He's TNA?
Well, we can talk about him, sure, if you want.
Excellent. There you go. Perfect. Glad to be here, gents. I'm back. I've come back from the Holy Land that is Scotland. I visited.
I'm glad that you are back and that we didn't get any calls from the UN or something while you were over there. I think so.
If I may do an anecdote first.
Yes.
So I finally, after an 8-hour flight, we land from Calgary in Edinburgh, and I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm finally in Scotland. I'm feeling it. I'm like, I can feel the genes tingling. My ancestors were with me. And I was finally in the homeland, and I come through, I try to scan my passport and it doesn't work in the machine. Oh no. So they push me down to the side. So I go down to the side, and there's 8 Scottish cops standing there, bobbies, and they all come up to me and they're like, "All right, sorry, lad, come here. You have to talk to you quick." And like they pull me into the side room and they said, "So there's another CraigPFraser who is wanted by the police right now. So we have to scan every CraigPFraser coming in." And so I'm sitting in this room with my wife, Bailey, sitting next to me.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm like, so this is actually, so this would have been a couple of weeks before Clash at the Castle, actually.
Yes. Yes.
And I saw the arena actually where they did that. It was pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Nice.
But I was there and so I'm sitting there. They had like screened me. They like gave me this card and they're like, in case you get stopped another time here on this trip, you just use this and you can get free. So hopefully you don't get stopped again. So it was like first time arriving in Scotland. They're like, get in here.
Yeah.
There's a wanted man here the same name.
No kidding.
It's pretty funny though, because they're like, is this your first time in the UK? I'm like, yeah, I've been here for 5 minutes.
Yes.
I'm not the guy you're looking for.
I literally just pulled up. My taxi is that giant jet that you see down there.
Yeah. But then he said, he's like, well, we actually have a photo of the guy. We know you're not him. Also, the guy we're looking for is 5'9" and 170 pounds. I was like, boys. It's not me.
Yeah. Nope.
You're the size of 2 CraigPFrasers.
Exactly. I wasn't thrilled that somebody was tarnishing my name over there. I was like,
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I hope you catch the guy. So they were on it.
Exactly. So
Very friendly.
I hope you catch the guy and whoop his ass.
yeah. No kidding.
That's
nothing,
awesome. Nothing but compliments to the Scottish police for their tact. I was in and out of there.
Was this CraigPFraser they're looking for also a Canadian?
No, he was UK citizen.
Okay.
So you're a much larger foreign CraigPFraser, but they still had to pull you aside and let you know.
You know what? To me, it was just a quick little thing. They said right off the bat, they're like, "We know you're not the guy.
Yeah,
don't worry."
God, could you imagine if you were black? Just kidding.
He's like, I don't want to go there. I am not touching that potato.
No kidding. The whole, oh man, my dad went through the same thing a handful of years ago, when we took a family trip down to Vegas, and there was the 4 of us, my sister, myself, and my mom, my dad, and then we all in the airport there. Sister goes through, no problem. I go through, no problem. My mom goes through, no problem. All of a sudden, my dad gets I guess reprimanded and that stuff, and said, there is a so and so with the same name as you and that stuff that's wanted. Are you this person? And my dad's like, no, I don't think so.
That's my check.
Exactly. So, and I just remember just the security people just kind of hauling him off into this room and that stuff, and him just kind of looking just kind of sad and forlorn.
I'm sorry.
Like, well, we'll see you on the other side. Okay, great.
I'm sorry. Wait. What the hell kind of security is their question? Are you that guy?
I think it's something.
What
that
the
they
hell
have
kind
to
of
do.
security is that?
I think it's just something they have to do. I think that's.
Hey, we're looking for somebody. Are you him? Is
that him?
Yeah.
Don't lie to me now.
Don't lie to me.
He was out of that room in like 2 minutes, and that stuff. It's like, oh yeah, all they asked me to see was my passport, my driver's license, and stuff, and then they let me go. So,
are you the Mr. Nitro we're looking for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Great.
So, but yeah, it's weird how that happens. But anyway, yeah. So Sami Zayn beats Braun Breaker to end that segment off. So there
we can end that segment. Good win for Sami Zayn. That man needs to shave.
Yes, he's got a big old beard happening, but hey, whatever.
I meant the chest beard. That's got to go.
Oh!
Put the graphic up again.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
I got it.
You could braid that thing. It looks braided down the middle. Does he have abs, or did he just like shuffle some hair in the middle?
Okay.
You know what? I like the beast look. I think I dig it. Let it go.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
his main enemy is Velcro.
that puts A-Train to shame.
A-Train. Nice. Well, hey,
kittens would cuddle that thing.
Kids will cuddle anything.
Yeah.
Anything warm, they're on.
Yes, exactly.
He doesn't take showers, he vacuums.
Save on water. Hey, it saves on your water bill. I mean,
Mr. TL has the Benny Henman joke book from 1960.
Are you that
Benny
Mr.
Hill.
Benny Hill?
That's Benny Hill, yeah. Benny Hill, not Benny Henman, Benny Hill.
Oh, I heard that wrong.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all good. So Bad Blood returns October 5th in Atlanta, Georgia. They are knocking they're bringing back the Bad Blood pay-per-view name. There have only been, I think, maybe 2 or 3 WWE shows with the Bad Blood moniker. Of course, the most famous one being the first Hell in a Cell in 1997.
Which was the only Bad Blood that I think ever actually happened.
Nope, there was a Raw branded pay-per-view in 2004 that was called, or 2003, sorry, that was called Bad Blood. The main event for that one was Triple H versus Kevin Nash.
Boo!
I was gonna say I remember Bad Blood, and it's not the Hell in a Cell Bad Blood.
No,
I remember when that was 2004, so I was 13.
Yeah.
I was watching wrestling in those days, and I remember Nash came back not with the NWO gimmick.
No.
And he fought Triple H for the title.
This is after Nash came back from the torn quad that he had in WWE.
Let me tell you something, brother racists. Sorry, there's a Hogan story about him being racist to this girl.
Okay.
It was wild. But anyways, I can't do Hogan things anymore. This is sad. Anyways, when I was a kid, the Bad Blood pay-per-view came out, and that is the first Hell in a Cell, which is Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker.
Yes.
Funny enough, when I was a kid, I got a 4-pack of action figures that was titled Bad Blood.
Yes.
And it was The Undertaker, Kane, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Paul Bearer, who had almost no articulation.
No. Yeah. I think I had the same figure. It was just basically like you could just move like
just his arms.
Yeah.
Just his arms. And that's all he would do. That was called the Bad.
Yeah. In a full bushwhacker for whatever reason.
Well, one hand could hold a microphone if there was one, but he didn't come with it. And the other hand was in a pointing position like this.
Yes. Yeah, there we go. So
that was the Bad Blood pack. That was the first set of action figures from the Jack specific line.
Yes. Yeah. I had that one. Some of my first wrestling figures actually were from Jack specific because I remember I had the Hart Brothers wrestling figure set where it had Bret and Owen.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I still have that. I still have both figures. So still have the Bret Hart figure and the Owen Hart figure. They're a little scratched up because I played with them, but
Yeah, I still have an Owen figure from that line, but he's wearing the Danger costume from the Nation. I still have that figure.
See, mine is the 2-time Slammy Award-winning Owen Hart.
Oh, that's a good Owen.
Yes. Yeah, and it came with the Slammies.
That just reminded me. That's not the first figures I had. I had the Hasbros from the early 90s.
Okay, yeah.
They're like little, but they had little action things.
I have
you don't know the action things.
Yeah, the like Hulk Hogan had the arm thing.
They made a whole bunch of Hulk Hogan's. They had one of his arms flip.
Yeah. I have one from that line. It's Hogan doing the bear hug.
The bear hug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the Ultimate Warriors. Yeah, Ultimate Warriors doing the gorilla press. Yeah. I got that.
I had a Mr. Perfect that would kind of do a flip with his arm.
See, so when I was like a really little kid, so my first I screwed up my line of thinking. My first 4 wrestling figures that I had, I must have gotten like 1990 or 91. I got that blue ring that they offered.
Yeah, I got the blue ring too. Yeah,
blue ring. Yeah, and it had the belt, had the winged eagle belt.
Yes, it did.
You threw that on, and then so those 3 figures. So I had Macho King, Randy Savage.
Yep.
Macho King with the purple tights. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior.
Yep.
And this is the first time I ever found out about a rival wrestling league. I had a Galoob Sting Great American Bash action figure.
And it didn't move.
I don't know where my folks found this thing, but I had it. And it's like, okay, who is this guy? It's like, I've never seen him before. Who's Sting?
I absolutely had something. I had the Ric Flair and the Sid Justice.
Okay.
From WCW. And they came with a pack of WCW cards.
Yeah.
And I was flipping through. I'm like, who the hell are these people? And there was one, and I wish I still had it. It just said, and I'm like, who the hell is this? Remember, I'm a 5-year-old kid, but I'm like, it just said Paul E with mouth open. And it was Paul Heyman on a cell phone. And he was like this.
Yeah, Paul E dangerously. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, who the hell? What is this? Paul E with mouth open?
That was the back in the EC Dub days.
Before, so WCW days.
This is WCW. This is in the early 90s.
So Paul had like the full-on freaking old school cell phone.
The brick.
Yes, he had the brick, and he used it as a weapon every now and then.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
And he wore a suit and everything, and he looked like kind of a shystery lawyer.
Yeah. Well, his whole thing was like a Wall Street yuppie type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before, but you ever see that video of like Paul Heyman in '95 talking about exactly how the Monday Night Wars are going to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great. I've watched that multiple times.
That's a great watch.
That's a great video. He perfectly. And the guy, and there's like one of the top comments in that video is the guy sitting there is Mick Foley.
Yes.
And
Cactus
the top,
Jack.
Yeah, it's Cactus Jack at the time. And the guy, the top comment is like the guy that like almost not single-handedly, but the guy that finished off the win for WWF is sitting next to him while he's talking about it.
Which is weird. Yeah, I know. It just goes to show you cannot predict the future.
Well, Paul E can.
he did. He's pretty good that time.
Yeah, he did.
He nailed it.
Pretty bang on. Yeah, exactly.
Which, by the way, I don't know how, but if we all can watch that 4-part series of Who Killed WCW, good stuff.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Really
already.
good.
Is that Vice?
Yes, it is a Vice
thing that came out. Yeah. Okay. I haven't seen a lick of it, but I think it's on Amazon Prime up here, so I'll get a chance to check it out here.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm spoiling anything because most people know what happened with WCW, but
Yeah,
really, yeah, really after that, they're like, who killed WCW? I'm like, it was death by committee. Like it really was. There's no one person that you can blame.
I remember reading the book that R.D. Reynolds and Brian Alvarez put out, The Death of WCW, and they basically have they said that it's the same thing, death by committee, but they put the recently deceased Jamie Kellner as basically the guy that was the guy that pulled the plug eventually on it. So
right.
Yeah, so I'd love to see. I'll get a chance to watch the series here next couple months, and it'd be good to see what happens for sure. Yeah,
it's a good series.
Awesome, great. I'll get a chance to check it out. We were getting back to the pay-per-view here quickly. Trish Stratus came out and graced us with her presence and introduces John Cena, and John Cena announces his retirement tour. Yes, 2025 will be John Cena's retirement tour. Yes, I'm sorry, folks. I just made everybody feel old in this room. John Cena is retiring.
Well, I watched the clip on Twitter actually.
Yeah. Okay, thoughts. Go for it.
It was promo.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Trish gives him the shout out. The hometown girl comes in, and then he kind of pumps up Canada's tires pretty good, which that was nice. It was nice to hear. Seeing a shout out to Canadian fans. Babyface pop. I mean, yeah, he's in Toronto, so he's definitely going for the babyface pop. I mean, but yeah, usually you think of John Cena, like he's always the guy unapologetically, never changes it to Boston, Massachusetts, always from West Newbury, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Never, Mr. Red, White, and Blue in many ways, like the second coming of Hulk Hogan. He wasn't so star spangly about it. But I mean, big, yeah, almost. But cuts a promo. I watched it. I thought, it was a pretty good, like, complete shoot in the sense of gratitude and just, he's pumping up the product and everything like that. He's doing giving back to the business and, I think it's because he's now like 44, 45 years old.
Mid-40s, I think.
Mid-40s. Yeah, I mean, it's about time. I mean, if anyways, it's good for him. I mean, he's got all this other stuff going on, Netflix and Peacemaker, all the different movies he's in and stuff. So, yeah, great way. I mean, take note, Rock. This is how you do it. No, but no, I think it's good. I mean, I don't know. He's gonna do his tour, so good for him.
So thanks to Brendan BT Taylor over at the Elite Wrestling Society. He posted this earlier today. He says Cena confirms his WrestleMania match will not be his retirement match. He said it will be his final WrestleMania match, but it will not be his last match. He says that the farewell tour will go on from January to December of 2025, and it's 30 to 40 dates he plans on doing in 2025. So basically, they'll use him spot duty throughout 2024 into 2025 a little bit. He'll have matches at all the big four shows. Like he basically announced last night that he's declaring for the Royal Rumble already. So he said that twice, and I think it was kind of an unofficial announcement. But if that's the case, I'm pretty sure that that's the earliest anybody has ever declared for a Royal Rumble match is now July 6th.
Do you think they would go babyface versus babyface? Cena wins the Rumble as a last hurrah and faces Cody?
No,
I don't think so, but I think that might be on the table if other things don't come to fruition, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I actually don't. I haven't been paying attention, but I would just say
be a safeguard. That's what
I wouldn't put that match anyway because it would be like Cena's last WrestleMania match. He's not going to win. That.
If he doesn't win, then you could put him up against Cody and just pass the torch.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a bit predictable, but
yeah.
But then does Cody have the belt going into that or not? Right. That's another thing too, because if Cody's the champion, then you're kind of wasting the Universal title slot on Cena and Cody for that. Now, if Cody is not the champion at WrestleMania next year, then I have no issue with that whatsoever. Then if that's the case,
Why wouldn't Cody be the champion?
Exactly. That's an entirely different line of thinking, right? So
who do you think is going to take it off of Cody then? If because I haven't been watching it. So
they've
sorry, who?
All three of us have kind of been.
We clocked out to watch the playoffs.
Yeah, and now we're clocking back
and I've
in.
continued to clock out because of soccer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I haven't watched wrestling in a solid 2.5 months.
And I'm about to, I've been kind of in and out of it. And I'm about to clock out for the summer because racing season began for me here a couple of weeks ago. And now I'm back doing this. And you might get a Summerslam recap out of me. And then that'll be it probably for the summer.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the spoilers, folks, but there we go. But
and I was just going to say about the John Cena thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but he comes off so insincere.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like when he comes out, I was like, I'm here to announce my retirement. Like, it's so robotic and clinical. Like, he comes off as insincere as Justin Trudeau.
Well, that was the whole. Wow.
That's a dig. Well, I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was the whole knock about him back in the Total Bellas days, was that he was very robotic and regimented, and
he almost is the prototype. He's almost too like
wasn't
polished.
A gimmick. Yeah. Like there's no heart and soul in what he does.
No.
He's really just a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it almost is like, you know, he's truly a company man, but he's truly just like, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to say what I need to say. Like, I don't know. I think you're right, Ty. I think if you like, I don't think he has it in him to like not do what's like that's a time. That's if there's any kind of a promo that you're going to really kind of go into it for yourself, it's your retirement promo.
Yeah.
Right. So like, if there was a time for Cena to almost like forget about the business and what's going to like make the most money, like obviously announcing your retirement, doing a retirement tour after his career, that's still going to draw.
Yeah.
But you know, let the guard down. Almost like don't come out there and do the same. Because even I've seen like him on talk shows.
Yeah.
And he seems almost, I'm like, did you rehearse these jokes before you came?
Yeah.
Like,
just a little.
Like, you know, like it's just, I don't know. It does seem a little insincere.
I'll put it to you like this. Mark Henry had a better fake retirement than John Cena with a real one.
Yeah. I watched that Mark Henry run. The salmon jacket.
The salmon jacket, baby.
The salmon jacket, yes. The salmon
with John Cena in the ring taking that world famous slam. Oh yeah, that was good shit.
When he's like, honey, baby, I'm coming home.
Yes.
He's got his arms out. And then you thought it was that easy. I was like, oh man.
And Michael Cole that's one of Michael Cole's best.
Great call. Great call.
Oh my god! As he slams him, it was great.
Great call. Yeah, great moment. So, Cena retirement tour. Already, people are speculating on possible dance partners and matchups, and that's what we're going to see. But,
by the way, Trish Stratus was the host of this pay-per-view, and she only came out in this one segment.
Well, and we've seen her about 2 or 3 times during the show. That's about it, because she did a couple
in the back doing nothing. Like, how are you the host? What are you hosting?
She got ran down by the eventual women's Money in the Bank.
What is your host duties?
Yeah, I don't know. What does
hosting? WWE know what a host is?
A decade ago, if you were a host for a WWE show and that stuff, that had to have carried a little bit of financial cachet, a little bit. You know, nowadays, I don't know.
So, what's the point of having a host if they're not hosting anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
The host is supposed to be the first one out there.
You could advertise special appearance by WWE Hall of Famer and former X-Time Women's Champion Trish Stratus, and then everyone's like, "Oh, cool, yeah, of course," because it's Toronto.
Just make it a surprise, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people weren't going to buy the pay-per-view just because Trish Stratus was going to be a host.
Yeah,
like, no one's going to. Let me pay $50 for that.
No, that was more a hometown pop to try to, you know,
exactly
a lot of hometown people, right? So
exactly. So like, just make that a secret. There was no point of announcing that and calling her a host. It was ridiculous.
Still hot as hell.
She looked good though.
I was going to say, still hot as hell.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yep, absolutely. All right. We roll forward with the show here. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this was the match, how it went into the pay-per-view. This was Seth freaking Rollins challenging Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight title. We did not get that. In fact, that match got thrown out officially at about the 7 or 8 minute mark.
They had a decent match.
They had it up until the point that we talked about. They had a really decent back and forth match.
Until somebody didn't know how to kick out.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it against him on that. I really am not. There's too many guys right now. There's too many people right now on Twitter and you name it and that stuff that are holding it against Damian, and I'm not going to be one of those guys. I'll be like, I think that they expected Drew's music to hit on either the 1 or a 2 count, and so when that happened, that kind of screwed things up and whatever. The whole thing was a little bit of a train wreck to get going, but to me, it's not as big of a blip as it has to be. I mean, you
killed the referee.
So what happened in this match? Explain this to me.
I'll explain it. Damn it. They're having a pretty good, decent match. Rollins, he breaks out his pay-per-view performances that makes you go, where the hell is this all the rest of the year?
Right.
Oh, right. It's only on pay-per-view. You wrestle like this. Damian Priest is doing pretty well. They do their spot where they, what the hell move is this?
Oh, his finish, the choke slam, South of Heaven?
No,
the Falcon Arrow.
Yeah, so Seth Rollins does his little Falcon Arrow thing.
Yeah.
He's got Damian Priest out. 1, 2. Oh. But Damian Priest didn't put his hand up.
No.
So the referee just stopped his count for no reason.
Yeah.
Because Damian Priest didn't put the arm up at 2.
It's like the Sting Hogan finish.
Yeah, I'm thinking that there should have been a music cue there. That's what that is. I think that was when Drew's music was supposed to hit, because Drew McIntyre does come down and cash in the money in the bank.
It does not matter. You hear 1, 2, you kick out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I just say, you kill the referee. Well, you make him look like a complete jabron, and the whole thing looks like shit.
I know that the initial concern last night was if Priest got knocked out by the Falcon Arrow, if he took the bump wrong or something like that, was just momentarily, knocked out or anything. But all the reports, today and that stuff were saying that no, everybody's fine, other than some bumps and bruises and everything like that. So, if, like I said, if it's a mistake, it's a mistake. I'm not going to hold them to task for it. Some people will, but I'm just, personally myself.
You're a professional wrestler.
I think that's to me that go ahead. I mean, but I'm just personally.
No, that's one of the most egregious mistakes you can make is to not kick out at 2, because you've just killed the referee and you've killed the whole legitimacy of the match.
Okay.
The fact that the referee has to go 1, 2 and pull up at 3 when nothing happened. The crowd is confused. They have no idea what's going on. Immediately, it looks like bullshit.
Yeah.
It's one of the worst mistakes you can make.
Well, because, I mean, let's be clear. I mean, the main point of a wrestling match is storytelling, right? So what it does is because that's when a wrestling match goes right. When you watch like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, any of those WrestleMania ones, or it just when you're in such a state of into the story that's happening, but with the competition in the ring, that you forget that this is a performance, that this is a set thing. There's a finish and everything. It's all been predetermined. So when that kind of happens, that disbelief is destroyed.
Yes.
Right. And if it almost would have been better, because the thing I believe with Money in the Bank, just count the 3 count. Seth is the new champion, and then boom, Drew's music hits. Still has that, like, Seth is like, yes, he gets the belt, and he has that moment. Because I mean, I don't know, I've never been in a gorilla position in a wrestling show, but like if I saw that happen, if I was like, oh fuck, they botched the count, but just my thing would be hit the 3 count. If he doesn't kick out, hit the 3 count. The bell will go. We'll still send them. Right? Because you'll have that moment where like Seth gets the belt and people are like, oh shit, that was a quick, and then bagpipes, and it's like, oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, he's cashing it anyway, and then that just becomes, it's still, you can still advertise it as such as, oh, it's become a triple threat at this point, whatever, and then that's
your failsafe, right?
That's your failsafe. I can see that. Yeah. I could definitely see that.
But also, the time that he chose to cash in made 0 sense.
Mhm.
You had one guy who's about to win the match. And let's
Yeah.
say you do count to 3 and he does win the match. Why do you cash in there? The guy just freshly won the match. It's not like he's beaten up and he can't continue.
Yeah, and then that spits back to my original comment that I talked about in that stuff is, okay, this is great that you're using this as a storyline beat between McIntyre and Punk going forward, but now you've lost that safety net of having a Money in the Bank winner on the men's side for that. For the entire year, you have no Money in the Bank winner now at this point. Just for that one storyline beat.
And because I'm pretty sure I saw on Twitter, so McIntyre comes out, restarts the match, he gets rid of Priest for a bit, he's gonna finish off Seth, and then Tyler's dad comes out. Tyler's hero comes out and costs Drew.
You
the match.
salty, raggedy bitch, you.
What? I'm just saying that you're a big fan of CM Punk.
Don't call my dad.
It's okay.
Who's your dad?
I honestly hoped
So by the way, does Goldberg's dick taste like protein powder, or like how does that work?
I don't like Goldberg that much. I think Goldberg's match is amazing. That was way more mean than what I said.
I know. I'm sorry. I only know how to hit back, and that's precisely. Pow!
Then Damian retains the title.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, whole thing ran in 14 minutes and 40 seconds. And so we had to cash in, and it was an unsuccessful cash in. Rollins, I think I saw today, became on the men's side, the 6th or 7th unsuccessful Money in the Bank cash in since the briefcase match has been instituted in 2005. So there we go. And Priest gets Gunther at SummerSlam, because Gunther is the King of the Ring, and that was the prize at King of the Ring. If you won King of the Ring, you got the title shot at SummerSlam. So
okay, now let's talk about this for a second here. You have a King of the Ring winner who gets a shot at the title at SummerSlam.
Yes.
You get a Royal Rumble winner who gets a shot at WrestleMania for the title. You get Elimination Chamber who gets a shot at one of the titles, who wins that one too.
Basically the title that the Royal Rumble winner hasn't declared
exactly
for.
With so many people who can earn ways to get a title shot, why do you need somebody to win the Money in the Bank?
I think because it's that extra unpredictability. Like, okay, this person has the ability to cash in anytime, any place for it. But I see what you mean.
You don't find this unpredictable right now that Damian Priest still has the belt?
Yeah,
I feel this is unpredictable.
Like I said, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But as I'm saying, it's just, I don't know what's going to happen now with Damian Priest. I don't know what happens now with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You have an idea what's going to happen between Punk and Drew McIntyre when they're all healthy. But where does Seth fall into this?
Yes.
Where does Priest go from here?
That's right.
Where does Finn Balor go from here? Because they're showing dissension within that group.
That's
apparently.
right. Yeah.
So, I mean, not having a Money in
inevitable.
the Bank winner, to me, doesn't really make a difference, because you still have an unpredictability of what the hell's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Instead of having another title match that you know is going to come down the line at some point. And another idiot walking around with that stupid briefcase.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's it won't be happening on the men's side. So
Oh, and by the way, this is not the last count of unprofessionalism of fundamentals of wrestling that happens tonight.
Oh, okay. just holler when it happens in the storyline here, because obviously your notes are different than mine. So there we go. Post-match, Rollins is livid at Punk, and Graves separates the two. Yes, so they're feeding off of the whole dissension between Punk and Rollins, and McIntyre and Rollins and Punk, and now it's all, it's one giant schmoz at this point. So
do you think potentially I guess that wouldn't make any sense now. I was gonna say, like, because Gunther is getting the shot at
SummerSlam
now.
Yeah.
I was like, do you think they put it into I thought if you have Priest, Rollins, McIntyre, Punk, Fatal 4-Way or something like that, but I guess that doesn't work.
That might be something in the fall that we see, depending on what happens at SummerSlam. But SummerSlam is pretty well set in the main event picture and that stuff with Priest and Priest and Gunther basically doing the world title thing. And then as we get to it here, they've laid the seeds down for the Universal title as well, probably for SummerSlam, where it's just got to be made official in the coming weeks and that stuff. But it'll probably be, well, we'll talk about that when we get up to it. It's revolving the Cody versus new Bloodline feud coming up here. So, but yeah, we'll just jump to WWE Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which was the next one on the card. And this was quite the contest because we had Naomi.
Those aren't them.
Oh, sorry. Good call. There we go.
Those breasts were exposed.
So we had Naomi's Zoe Stark, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton.
Who? I was wondering who the hell that was.
Chelsea Green and Io Sky. Okay, so Lyra is a Raw draft pick. They drafted her from NXT, so she's kind of newish to the main roster. And everybody else has basically been on the main roster on either Raw or SmackDown for.
I thought that was like Ruby Soho's sister. I'm like, who the hell is that?
Well, pay attention to the draft. No,
I've been out for 2 months. I
know.
No draft.
I'm kind of in and out myself, so I hear you. I understand.
And apparently, nothing happened in the draft.
No, they just this was the way that they worked in all their NXT people like Braun Breaker and Lyra and people like that.
Oh yeah. By the way, this match is full of botchamania moments.
Oh, is it? It is. I did like Chelsea Green's whole "I'm afraid of heights" bit, so I'm very hesitant to climb the ladder to get to the briefcase. I found it pretty funny.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, at the beginning.
Oh, where she tried to use a ladder to poke it down?
Yeah, because she didn't want to climb. She's afraid of heights. They did a whole thing on the pre-show, apparently, where Kathy Kelly interviewed her, but they interviewed her at the top of the CN Tower.
Oh.
And she literally was holding on to one of the beams. They're saying, "This is too high. I'm getting a nosebleed. What's going?" That was It's a pretty funny bit. So, but it's like she didn't know what she signed up for. That's and that's all that whole kind of subplot between her and Adam Pearce on Raw, where she's been annoying the hell out of Adam Pearce since she started on Raw, and Adam's found different ways of punishing her basically. And so this one was, oh, she's afraid of heights. I got an idea. Let's put her in a ladder match. So,
she did take bump of the night.
She did. Yeah, that finishing bump was crazy. Like I said, this was really cringy to watch. Like I said, everyone has to be banged up for real here. They had to have been like, this was just like the Michinoku driver that Zoe Stark took from Io Sky. That's a little okay. That's
when Zoe Stark tried to do that little Rob Van Dam spin off the rope, and then she completely flopped and missed.
Yeah. And
landed on somebody on a ladder.
Yeah.
Or missed her.
Yeah.
That was a good botch.
Yeah. it was cringe. So, but and then Io hitting that pose after, which is weird. It looked like she kind of just folded up into a ball and kind of this after the Michinoku driver bit. Like she kind of rolled off and she kind of just folded. And I'm like, can somebody, poke her with a stick or check on her or something? Because I think we have there's a small Japanese wrestler that's turned herself into a flesh ball here. So basically a bag of meat at that point.
No, we're just going to leave you out here on this one. We are not rescuing you on this.
But anyway, Tiffany Stratton outlasts them all and is Miss Money in the Bank. She beat Io Sky to the top of the ladder. This one
I realized about Tiffany Stratton.
Yes.
I think she's kind of cute is because she's a little cross-eyed. I think that's what it is. I think that's the attraction.
Fraser is Googling right now.
I'm
saw the light go off on the laptop.
Well, she's good looking, but there's a little Okay.
Yeah,
It's a
dude,
little-
that's what
it's a
it
little-
is.
If you
That's what
gotta,
makes her a little endearing, is that she's a little cross-eyed.
if you have to do a Google on stream, use your phone. That's your strategy tip for tonight's stream. So there we go. Yes, but anyway, yeah. So Tiffany Stratton is Miss Money in the Bank. She did not cash in during the show, so she is holding on to that briefcase until at least tomorrow night, maybe a little bit longer. Nor should she cash in anytime soon. I think she'll be your classic mid-card heel holding on to the championship opportunity thing for a bit, and then, strike when the time's right. That's it. Like, I mean, once I think she's on SmackDown, Bayley's on SmackDown, that's probably the belt she's going for. That's probably what they're going to hit. So
I bet she's going to walk around with that thing for a very long time.
that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, I don't see her cashing in anytime soon. I think it'll be probably, it might even be post WrestleMania next year. We'll see.
She likes to be a very peppy and annoying, pompous wrestler. Like, that's her character. So her having that gimmick to hold over people's heads.
Oh,
yeah. She's
chef's
going to
kiss.
milk
Yes.
that for a whole year.
Yeah. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That cute little cross-eyed girl.
Yes. But we think back now, we all sat together and watched it, but remember back all the way to January, end of January, and the end of the women's Rumble match, and all of those women that didn't win the Rumble match, and Bayley had won the Rumble match, but all 4 of those women have been involved in the SmackDown world title scene since the Rumble now at this point.
Cool.
Long-term storytelling, right?
Yeah.
About the only one that really hasn't been involved much in it is Jade Cargill, but I think her time is coming. Yes.
Yo, her and Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a tag team.
Yes, and I think they're going to be hitting Splitsville on that here soon. So, yeah, I think that's going to be something that they're saving for the fall at some place.
Oh yeah, Naomi had some fun spots in this match too, by the way.
Oh, she did. Yes. Yeah.
She was doing the splits on 2 different ladders and turned that into a DDT.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Mm-hmm.
She
Totally wild.
did her thing in that match.
Yes. There we go.
Oh yeah, by the way, the spot we're talking about with Chelsea Green, Craig, if you didn't see, she was at the top of the ladder with Tiffany there, cross-eye, and she went over the side, down into the bottom, and through 2 tables.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like Edge style.
Yeah, she flew.
That's great. That's a good spot. And she was all right?
Oh yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Good. That's
Yeah. They got it out, and she posted later, "I'm fine." That's she looked like it was like watching the old Super Dave Osborne show and Super Dave falling off of the Super Dave dummy falling off of a high thing, except this wasn't a dummy. This was an actual person.
Perfect.
Yeah. Great.
So the women's champions I just checked. So you have Liv Morgan as the women's world champion, and then Bayley is the women's WWE women's champion.
Yeah.
I assume then that probably means, because isn't Rhea Ripley's hurt, right? So she's coming back.
Yes, but Rhea's probably going to be locking up with Liv. They've built a lot of heat with that. That's going to be part of the Judgment Day split angle, basically, and that stuff, because
And
Liv
whatever
is
happens
trying to
to
get
Dominic.
with Dom, and what happens to Dom and stuff like that. So I don't see Tiffany Stratton getting involved on Raw, obviously, with the Money in the Bank, and plus she's a SmackDown draft pick anyway, so she'll be on SmackDown.
She'll be going after Bayley, probably.
So she'll be going after Bayley. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll see how that plays out.
Yes, definitely. Going forward, because we now have and there's a Queen of the Ring too that's supposed to have a match against Bayley. Who is the Queen of the Ring? That's a great question. Queen of the Ring.
It wasn't Zelina Vega?
It is not Zelina Vega. This was one of the Saudi shows that we don't cover anyway, but that was Nia Jax. So Nia Jax gets Bayley at SummerSlam, I believe. So
Nia Jax is going to hurt Bayley, and
and
then
Tiffany might cash in. We'll see. So,
okay, interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see. So I was trying to remember who that was, but no, Nia Jax is the Queen of the Ring and gets her shot at SummerSlam for the women's title. So, and she's picked Bayley already. So, yep.
Next match.
I'm surprised they didn't allude to that at all during Money in the Bank. They made no mention of that last night. That's why I had to Google it. I was like, oh.
There was no mention of a lot of things.
There was, yeah. Yeah, they were missing quite a bit. So
they're saving it for SummerSlam.
Is this the right one? It is. No, it isn't. Hang on.
Get your shit together, Lobster Man.
Trying to. There we go. 6-man tag. The new Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, and Jacob Fatu taking on Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens. And this was Jacob Fatu's WWE in-ring debut here. Former MLW World Heavyweight Champion, of course, for Court Bauer's promotion down in Florida, and has been a guy that they wanted to bring into WWE for quite some time, but has kind of a sordid past, shall we say, and that's why they haven't brought him in. So,
what does that mean?
Tons of criminal record.
Oh, a criminal past
stuff. Criminal past. Sort of.
Oh, I thought you meant like a wrestling past. Like
no.
Killed a promoter or something.
Dave made reference that they had to make some special concessions with the Canadian government to get him up to Toronto for Money in the Bank, and that was legit. They had, because he's got a full criminal record and pending trials and stuff like that upcoming. So
you know what though? Good for him turning his life around.
Yeah. I think just being with the family is helping him out immensely here. So
I mean, has he turned his life? He's facing trials. Like, I don't know what. I have no idea what for. But I mean, like, I know nothing.
Know. It seems like he was just a street criminal, and now he's a professional wrestler.
I think it's just for like some petty assaults or something like that or whatever. So
okay.
From stuff from younger on, when he was younger, but. Yeah, it's still enough of a criminal record that could give you issues at the border, right? So,
but I tell you what, I did watch some YouTube clips to see like who the hell this guy was and why there's so much hype around him.
And
for his hype, he does some crazy shit.
He is a
for his size and his weight and everything. By the way, he trimmed down a lot now that he's in WWE. Because he used to be like Umaga size, and now he's slimmed down.
Yeah, he's thinned down a little bit and that stuff.
A lot of it.
What's his stats? I think it's like 6'6", 6'7", 295, something like that.
Yeah, but before he was like 330 something.
He was north of 330.
He was chunky.
Yeah.
But he looks like in great shape, and he could still do some crazy stuff. And we only saw like a hint of it in this match. Not even much. We saw a whisper in the wind, but we didn't. That was about it.
No, and I mean, like, his whisper in the winds are as good as Jeff Hardy in his prime. Like, and it
looks more devastating because you don't look like a fly doing it.
No, and it's a bigger dude.
It looks like you doing it.
Yeah, it's a big man doing that. That's a big dude doing that floppy stuff, and it's like, what the hell's going on? We had some mind games off the top on who would start, and of course, to really establish Jacob Fatu, I love what they did here is. They let Randy Orton basically run rock shot on him. Randy hits the draping DDT early, and you think, oh, this is over. This guy's got nothing. What's going on? And then all of a sudden, he doesn't sell the draping DDT. He jumps up when Randy hits the mat and starts to get ready for the RKO. And then Randy slowly rises up and looks and sees Jacob Fatu just standing there and that stuff. And Randy's like, oh, shit, did I just make a rookie mistake here? Did the almighty Randy Orton, the veteran of veterans, just make a rookie error, a first-year error of, acting too confident against a strange opponent, right?
Did he have too many voices in his head?
Yeah. Did they counsel him wrong? Did he not understand?
Is this also a reference I don't get?
I have voices in my head.
No, I know the song, but those are lyrics of the song.
That's right. I just twisted the lyrics around.
Oh.
Get with it, man. Come on.
They come for me. They come for me.
Yeah. Anyway.
That is not the best hard rock wrestling theme though.
It's lasted. Hey, it's lasted.
It's long lasted. It's the only theme left from Reckless Intent that they use right now for somebody. So
I was just gonna. It does not top Batista's theme. I'm sorry, but you can't beat that.
No,
I was alone in this ring of danger.
I'm walking for miles inside this bit of danger.
My favorite memory with that was I went to WrestleMania in New York back in 2019, and that's when they did the whole Batista Triple H match.
Yeah.
And there's that viral video that's out of
Austin
Woods.
Yeah.
Just basically fanboying out in the entranceway, the staff entranceway and that stuff of the stadium when Batista walks out, right?
And he's singing the song.
I remember looking over my shoulder because I had floor seats, and I looked over my shoulder and I saw Woods kind of doing that, and I was like, "Oh, cool! He's a fan like us." I didn't know it was for a video, but it's like this viral thing that went at the time of him just fanboying and marking out, just like
So he was though. That's his favorite theme song. If you
awesome.
watch
He
Up,
loved
Down,
it.
Down.
And I'm just like, more power. That's awesome. It's like, here's a guy who just, was at WrestleMania, involved in, one of the main event angles, kind of loosely or whatever, because there's a whole Kofi Mania thing and that stuff. But, and here he's got time to go out and check out, the rest of the show. And here he is actually fanboying out with the rest of us.
Yeah,
it's cool. Very cool.
I remember that clip because at the time I was watching Battle of the Brands on Up, Down, Down with him and Breeze, and he talks about how like Batista's theme is the best theme song, and I think like he said there was like it was like not Buddy Murphy, who's
Tyler Breeze.
No, it wasn't Breeze. It was somebody who was telling Breeze and Woods.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Kurt Hawkins.
Oh, okay.
Kurt Hawkins came up to them and they were talking about Batista's theme, and Hawkins, he's like, no, Maven has the best wrestling music of all time. What? And they were like, fuck off, Kurt Hawkins. No.
Maven.
Maven has the best theme. He's like, it's for a wrestling theme song, it's the perfect, gets you out to the ring, it's upbeat. He's like, it's Maven's music. And they're like, shut up.
No.
But they're just, so they took video of them actually out during the WrestleMania, like sound check and everything. Batista's theme. And then when it was live, he was singing it live. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. No, he was marking out big time during the show there. That's it. But yeah, so it's this match towards the end. Well, that's basically what got accomplished. This thing is Solo Sikoa got the pinfall victory on Cody Rhodes. And so that basically anoints Solo as the new number one contender for the Universal title. With SummerSlam coming up, Cody doesn't have a dance partner yet for SummerSlam, so that's probably what we're getting on the Universal side. It's going to be Cody versus the Bloodline again, except it's going to be Cody versus Solo. And now to let the speculation begin. Does Roman come back at SummerSlam? Do we see Roman and Paul come back? Because Paul Heyman, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Paul Heyman got eliminated by this.
He got put through a table by the new Bloodline.
Through a table about a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
I did see that on Twitter.
Yeah, and so he's not affiliated with this group anymore because he refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as the tribal chief.
Right.
He says there is one tribal chief, and it is Roman Reigns.
Yes, and so
but Solo Sikoa says Roman Reigns isn't coming back.
Which means he is.
Obviously.
Yeah. By the way, are we going to talk about the botch in this match?
Bring it up. Let's go.
So, Kevin Owens is about to give Tama Tonga a... What the hell move?
Oh, the package pile driver.
Package pile driver.
Package pile driver?
Package pile driver. Where you folds the guy up like a turkey and then gives him a pile driver.
Yeah.
But Tonga Loa comes in the ring behind him.
Yeah.
And misses a low blow.
Yeah.
In fact, he hits Kevin Owens in his taint anal area.
Gotcha. But he smokes the hell out of
but then he does it again.
Yeah.
And this time he hits the low blow and punches Tama Tonga in the head.
And you can
as
see him
he hits the low blow. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Most unprofessional shit I've ever seen. The crowd, they reacted to the first low blow because they thought it was going to register. But Kevin Owens didn't register it because he didn't know he got hit. Because he didn't. He got touched in the ass. And then the second low blow happens, and then they're like, oh, he missed that first one, didn't he? Yeah. Yep. They had to redo that shit.
Yep. They sure did.
Oh, it was just an awful night of glaring botches.
Very glaring. Yep.
I think I have a nice solution for what's going to happen for Cody's opponent at SummerSlam.
Okay.
I think Cody's going to come out to the ring, cut a promo like, well, I don't know who I'm fighting. And then you're going to hear, here comes the Mac with the tag. come on, get it on. And then Teddy Long's going to walk out and he's going to go, listen up, player. He's going to go, you are going to go 1-on-1 with The Undertaker. And the Undertaker's like, what? I'm retired. And so they're going to have a match. That's SummerSlam.
I kind of wish that would happen, but no, that's not happening.
Sure.
If that happens.
But anyway, that's the show. So that was the end of the pay-per-view. With one little asterisk, post-show, we saw Drew McIntyre basically invade the post-show panel that had Jackie Redmond, Big E, and Wade Barrett kind of breaking down stuff in between the press conference, the post-show press conferences that they always do, and the end of the show. And Drew was basically saying or threatening Punk, saying, I will be there Monday and blah, blah, blah. And I know where you live. I'm coming after you, blah, 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 blah. And he got into a physical altercation with Adam Pearce. And today, earlier on Twitter, Adam Pearce went out on Twitter and said, we have fined CM Punk for his involvement in the World Heavyweight title match at Money in the Bank. We have fined Drew McIntyre, and we have indefinitely suspended Drew McIntyre for what was going, or for that entire situation, which means to tell me that there's going to be something between Punk and McIntyre on my phone's ringing in the background, never mind about that, but there's going to be something between them probably tomorrow night, and I would hazard to guess that it's probably going to be somewhere in around Punk's hometown of Chicago or something.
Why do we follow wrestling? Like, seriously, why do I follow this shit?
I don't know.
Because I have to ask you something. What is the rule of a triple threat match?
There is no rules in a triple threat match.
No disqualification.
First pinfall or submission, I should say.
No disqualification.
No DQ, yeah.
Why would CM Punk get fined when there's no disqualification in the triple threat match that was created by the Money in the Bank cashing in?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if wrestling doesn't follow their own rules, what the fuck is the point of even following?
Well, hold a second.
Oh, God.
No, just hold on a second. Just hear me out.
Hold on,
just
wait a minute.
Devil's advocate.
Well, no, hang on. you brought up a good point, but I think maybe it's because it's like, well, they didn't disqualify Punk for interfering in the match. Because he still jumped in there, they're like, well, we're going to fine him because even though there are no DQs, you had no place being in that triple threat match. Maybe that's the angle that they're playing.
There's no disqualification. Anything can happen. Anybody could have jumped out there.
Yeah, but anybody could have jumped out there, but doesn't mean you should jump out there. So maybe that's what they're playing at, is that you shouldn't have been out there.
What is the ramification of jumping out there?
That you shouldn't have been out there. I don't know.
See, you just play devil's advocate for no reason.
I don't know. I mean, I think that's, if anything, that's what they're trying to do. I don't disagree that like it's pretty weak. Like have CM Punk go out there and like, you know, like maybe hit the ref or something and like on purpose hijack the match. But
first of all, there's no DQ, but they waited for the ref to be down before he hit Drew McIntyre with a belt. So the ref didn't even see it.
Yeah, that's weird. It could have just been that Michael Cole said there's no DQ when maybe some triple threat matches there are DQs unless it's specified it's no DQ.
What Pierce did is akin to what we seen in the Stanley Cup final between that one game between the Oilers and the Panthers, where the Panthers were diving and then they called the penalty on the one Oilers player and then they grabbed the Panthers player for diving at the same time and just gave them a consequential.
Do not, bring up
4-on-4
Stanley Cup finals when we talking wrestling.
Oh, I'm talking early in the finals. I'm not talking.
It don't matter.
The end of it. So
you don't bring it up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to relive it. It never happened.
Boy, you would have thought that guy would have worked it the way that he's acting, not me.
hey, Tony Montana, when Tyler gets back, can he let him know we're doing a podcast?
Exactly.
I told you, man. You don't talk about it anymore.
Hey, Tony, chill out.
Hey, fuck you, man.
Tony Montana should talk to Tony the Tiger and just have some Frosty Flakes and chill.
They're great.
Can you imagine Tony the Tiger as Tony Montana in Scarface?
It's fucking great, man.
Say hello to my little friend.
That's actually funny. That's weird.
You have money. You have the power. When you have the power, you get the winning.
Toucan Sam comes in. He's in a wife beater, and his eyes are all bloodshot. He's like, "Follow your nose, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, help him."
Get
Help
the
us,
fucking
President.
ball out of my face. He keeps following his nose and come in my office every day.
I'm just picturing Snap, Crackle, and Pop with Uzi machine guns trying to bum rush Tony Montana's freaking house and that stuff, and they're just getting massacred.
I just imagine Snap, Crackle, and Pop are all crackheads.
Yeah, that's what makes it funnier.
Hey man, say, hey man, you got a gram? You got an 8-ball or some shit?
Get these fucking kids out of my office. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Get all these serial cartoons out of here.
Hey, get that out of here.
I'm the bad guy. That's
Yes.
why.
Yeah,
Now we've got Razor. There we go.
Gotcha.
Hey yo.
All right. Well, match of the night. We do this after every show on my Twitter account at kellennitro. I put the vote out for match of the night, and here were the results. Here it concluded just before we went live tonight. So match of the night, they took the women's Money in the Bank matches. Match of the night. About 65% of you on Twitter took that. There was 0 comments, by the way, for Zayn versus Breaker for that. And as you see, the men's Money in the Bank had 25%, and the Bloodline 6-man tag had 10, and the world title schmozzle whatever, nobody voted for it. So there we go. Yeah. So 65% of you think the women's Money in the Bank was match of the night.
It had bump of the night. It cannot be match of the night, though.
Yeah, I kind of disagreed with that too. I was like, really, match with all those botches and that stuff, you're gonna make that match of the night? I'm like,
easily match of the night was Zayn, and Breaker, but that wasn't an option on your poll.
I said write it in, and then I would have done the math. So
it's not the same when you get the opportunity to just click a button.
There's only 4 options on Twitter. There's 5 matches. What can I do?
I don't know. Don't put the one that obviously wasn't going to win. Being the men's match.
I didn't think that the men's one wouldn't get
sorry. No. The McIntyre and Seth and Priest.
I thought that would have got at least a couple of
Who would have thought that was the best match of the night?
Me.
Because that's the whole idea of the match of the night poll. It's like you throw up every single match. And it's like,
throw up is the right adjective. Yeah, I was throwing up watching that shit. That was the worst match of the night, and that shouldn't have been on the poll because Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker had a much better match.
That was the best match ever. It put Bret Hart Bulldog in Wembley to shame.
You didn't watch Money in the Bank.
I was going to say.
No, I saw it.
Okay.
You're being recorded.
I never
by
said
the way,
that.
Mr. Fraser.
I never said that. You tell me what I said.
You tell me what I watched. You're such a patriot.
I was in Grenada when SummerSlam 92 was taking place. That was going to be my spot in the match. I was going to be the British Bulldog. Don't I sound English? That's how I was going to go in. I was going to listen, Brett. I'm from London, England, and I'm going to kick you in the bangers and mash, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
It's one of the weirdest ones that Jesse Ventura's ever done.
Exactly.
No kidding.
I liked it.
Yeah.
What was I ranting about? Oh, yeah. It should have been Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker. There we go.
Okay, well, there we go.
No,
so that's your vote. That's that. Now we got to basically just pick a arbitrary value out of 10 to give this thing. I'll go first. Just because I've had it on my mind for a bit. I'm going to give the show a 5 out of 10. Just because.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think this was passable?
The storyline stuff is passable because of what's on the horizon here with SummerSlam. And I think a few things set up for SummerSlam quite nicely. I think we're definitely going to have, if not a match, definitely a major confrontation between Drew and Punk at SummerSlam off of this. And this was a good little catalyst for everybody to remember what is all happening with the Drew Punk feud with that. I think it established obviously who Gunther or King Gunther or whatever is going to take on Damian Priest in that world heavyweight title match. So he's got that dance partner. I think now reading between the lines, it's going to be Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes for the Universal title. Yeah. So in that way, I think, 5 out of 10 is, a pass at 50%, barely passable. I thought it was a barely passable show. So there we go. It is what it was.
You're too nice.
Okay.
You're too nice.
What do you give it? What do you give it?
It's a 2.5 out of 10.
2.5 out of 10. Okay. Can I do points? I can do points. Okay.
There is no reason to go back for this one. This has no redeeming value other than the Sami Zayn against Braun Breaker match, which, by the way, they'll probably have better matches in the future.
They will, yes.
Especially when Braun Breaker gets a better character and figures himself out a bit.
This was Braun's first title shot on the main roster anyway, so.
Hey, that's great. But you know what? That doesn't make up for the fact that the rest of this pay-per-view was nonsensical, unprofessional, and had a weak ending. And money, like you said, the Money in the Bank thing, I don't see it as such a big issue, but they did waste the briefcase on this moment.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you were in the live crowd and you paid a ticket to watch this, I think the only money value you got out of it was getting to see John Cena announce his future retirement, giving his 2 years notice, and then bigging up Canada.
Now, what is more egregious, though? The way that this show ended, with the building of the bloodline, that's for the way that the way that the world title match ended with Punk coming in and screwing McIntyre that way, or the way that Clash at the Castle in Scotland ended with Drew McIntyre losing his title match with Damian Priest with interference from CM Punk, and having the entirety of the live crowd in Scotland basically, they weren't throwing stuff in the ring or anything like that, but verbally throwing stuff in the ring, if you know what I mean. Like, they were hot at the end of that one. That house
Drew
was
McIntyre
hot.
is a bad guy. What the hell did that crowd expect?
Well, but the thing is, it was Scotland. It was his home country.
So once they're out of Scotland, they have to pick up and move on with Drew as a champion when he's in a program where he shouldn't be the champion. They didn't give Sami Zayn the belt in Montreal.
No.
And he was at the peak of the Bloodline storyline, above Cody Rhodes.
Good point.
And they didn't give him the belt. Yeah. What makes Drew McIntyre more special? So they're both, I guess they both had negative outcomes.
Yes.
This main event of the Triple Threat 3-on-3 had no consequence, so that's kind of a waste in itself.
Yeah,
that felt like a house show type of.
Yeah,
thing.
I give it. Like, they could have done the same thing on SmackDown. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that was like a SmackDown or a house show type of match.
Yeah, I'll give it SmackDown. It
was useless.
Yeah, it was.
So yeah, 2.5. There's no okay. I'm just recommending don't go back for this one. It's pointless.
Fair enough. Craig. I know you didn't see it, but you want to give it a number out of 10 just for shits and giggles? Go for it.
I am going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Because Tyler and I are going to hold hands, Ty, and then we're together going to be a 10 out of 10. Yay!
Actually, no, you're not. You're going to be a 5. You're 0.5 out still.
No, because 7.5 and 2.5. So 7 and 2 is 9, and 0.5 is 10.
Yeah, but it's in the middle.
No, it's 10 out of 10.
If you have 7.5 and I have 2.5, then it averages into the middle.
No, I'm saying combined.
Yeah, if you average it, it goes down. But if you just add the two together,
it's 10 out of 10. It's when you add 7.5 and 2.5, it's 10.
I told you to stay out of my office, man. To stay out of my office. To come in every day with your bagpipes and your haggis and all that plaid shit. You stay the fuck out of my office, man.
Tartan. It's not plaid, it's tartan.
I don't give a fuck what it is. It smells weird, okay?
No, it doesn't. It's wool.
It smells like you don't have underpants underneath.
That's a rumor.
So,
but I mean,
don't
tell me what I said.
Fraser, to end the show tonight here, regale us of tales of your travels to Scotland. How was Scotland? How'd you find it?
How was Rory McAllister?
Yeah.
Rory's sleeping it off, actually.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
No, it was absolutely phenomenal. 2 weeks that we were there. So we did a week in Scotland, a week in Ireland. Rented a car, drove over there. I prefer it
Oh, you on the opposite side.
There's my hot take. I think driving,
Okay.
and I think we should drive like they drive.
Drunk?
No.
Well, there's a lot of drinking going on. But I mean, like Ireland, like I like that Lewis Black joke. It totally makes sense now. Where he's just like, if you ever think you're drinking too much, just go to Ireland because you're not even close.
No.
Truth is, you're not drinking enough.
Yeah.
But everybody
You
was
need more.
so friendly. Everybody was so friendly over there.
That's awesome.
They were friendly in Scotland. They were very friendly in Scotland. Ireland even more so though. Ireland very friendly in Ireland. Very friendly.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
They're very like in Ireland, very much like the IRA is like they're heroes. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
like, oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. In the Republic of Ireland, it's very much like fuck the crown, fuck the royal don't even like bring it up. Just don't. I never did. But like I was talking to this Irish couple in Cork when we were down in County Cork, and they were explaining it. They're like, oh yeah, like fuck King Charles. Like I remember when the Celtic fan after the death of Queen Elizabeth II, the Celtic fans when they were playing Rangers at Hampden started singing Lizzie's in a box, Lizzie's in a box. We really can't believe it. We really can't believe it. And then Lizzie's in a box. So I was like, okay, that's how they feel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Were you in the Republic of Ireland or Northern Ireland?
Republic of Ireland, not Northern.
Oh,
Ireland.
okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, Northern Ireland's completely different.
And so, but I find the driving over there is a lot better because I got used to it within like a few minutes because like if we picked up our rental car, it was in downtown Edinburgh. I was like, here we go. But I actually it was good. And people are very courteous drivers.
Oh, right.
And one of the things too is like the biggest personal vehicle was like a Ford Ranger. And there's no vehicle older than like a 2016. And everybody's very courteous. The roads are they're narrower, but I found that it's still they don't have like light, stop sign. It's all roundabouts.
Yes.
But
they're very roundabout heavy over there.
But if you just Google Maps your destination, make sure you're taking the right exits. And like I was never in a traffic jam. Ever. Yeah. The roads are in a lot better condition. They don't have to deal with like the freeze thaw, but like I was just everywhere we needed. Like, and it is more expensive to rent a car than like you can take trains or you can take buses, but you're just on your own time. So like we saw people that were taking buses that were like, we have to get back on the bus. We got to drive back. And we're just like, our Airbnb's down the road. We can go whenever we want to. Yeah. Right. So it was very much more relaxed. In terms of actual events, it was great. Edinburgh is very like touristy. They have like castles there. I was like walking up to the Edinburgh Castle, and like on the one side is the statue of Robert the Bruce, and the other side is the statue of William Wallace. And I was just going in like, fucking throw the gates. I'm coming to liberate the castle.
That's what I was afraid of.
Fly the rampart.
I was gonna say, at which point would Fraser get triggered at this?
Yeah,
there was a few moments. One of the ones we went down the Royal Mile in Edinburgh, and we went to Holyrood Palace, which is one of the royal family's palaces there. Yeah, and Bailey and I went in there just to kind of check it out, and we go upstairs, and it was just how all the English kings after the Jacobite uprising, how like they dressed, and it was just like, oh, this is King William IV's pantaloons. And I was like, these fucking limey bastards. They take over the country and they're showing us their goddamn underwear. I got pretty hot. I was like, we gotta leave. I'm not standing another. Like this is a bustier that William VI wore when he went playing cricket with his friend. I'm like, you fucking motherfucker. Like, you son of a bitch. But no, it was very, Edinburgh was very nice. The people are very friendly. I got to hear the difference between the Edinburgh and the Glasgow accent, which was
cool,
was awesome.
Nice, yeah.
Which was in Edinburgh, everybody was very much like, oh, welcome to Edinburgh. Oh, hope you have a great stay. Tour around that town and look around at everything. Hope you have a fantastic time. And the first thing I heard in Glasgow was a drunk Celtic fan coming out of a bar and going up to his friend and being like, does the fuck count there? It's a 40 fucking pay, man. I was like, what? I thought on one point we were in Glasgow. I thought he was speaking another language. I thought he was speaking German or something as he was coming down the street. From a distance, he's on the phone. He's like, oh no, I was like, oh, he said maybe it's Dutch. And then he gets part and he's like, no, I totally come around on time. I'll find I'll be around next week. And I was like, oh my God, that is very thick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But we were in Edinburgh, and then we went up through Fife to St. Andrews. Went to the old course, got a picture on the Swilcan Bridge. A lot of rich fucks there. My God, like just everybody who had money. And I was like, I just want to see the course. Well, you can play. It's open to the public, but you have to like get into like a lottery system.
Oh yeah.
I talked to this guy from Arizona who was very much from Arizona. And
howdy, y'all.
Yeah,
that in itself had to take you back because
he was just kind of talking like this.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing here, sir? You are.
Well, he said he'd been there for 3 days and he still couldn't get on the course.
Okay.
And even then, when you get on with like a club rental, it's something like it's like 420 pounds, so it's like $800.
That's
it's fucked.
And that's probably just for 9. That's not for 18, right?
No, that's 18. That's 18.
That's full 18. Okay.
Yeah, but no power carts. And the day that we were there,
walking. You are walking.
And the day that you're there, like I wanted to see, like I wanted to be there when it was like bad weather, right? Because that's always been told. The St. Andrews, the elements, and when that wind is coming off the North Sea, and it was raining sideways. It was just, I was like, and this guy's like trying to tee off, this old guy, and he's like, like the wind's like splattering him in the face. And I was like, if I'm hitting it straight, I got to hit like over here. So the wind.
You got to put, you are not going.
It was blitz.
You're not dead arming it over there. And that's if
Wait, so you did get to golf?
I didn't get to golf. I did the tour of the course though.
I see.
But cool. It was awesome. I'm glad that I got to see it. I got the picture. I bought my dad a towel. I got myself a ball marker from St. Andrews.
Nice. Yeah.
I got to walk on the court. I got to like walk on the grass and the green, and I was like, here we go. This is
okay.
Good.
This is important for me because I used to be a chef once upon a time.
Okay.
I'm not asking how the food was. I want to know what the food was.
Okay. So I know that reputation that in the UK they don't have tasty food. The food was actually good. It's just everything is carbs. I didn't have a lot of vegetables when I was in Scotland. Like the fish and chips, terrific.
Yeah.
The fish, you know what? Not much different than here. The good thick batter. It's the different kinds of fish they have. It's not just cod.
Yeah.
Or haddock.
It's haddock.
Yeah. But they do haddock. But they do haddock. They do burbot. They do hake. They do like all these other kinds of fish.
Skate.
Yeah.
Sole.
Yeah, they do all these different kinds of fish. The fish is good. It's the chips. They do these big fat, not like wedges, but like big, almost like
they're like beef eater cut.
Like how those like jalapeno poppers you can get and stuff. Like the big round ones, like breadsticks. They're that thick. They're big chips.
Yeah,
they're fat and short. Yeah, chunky. Yeah. So good fish and chips. Seafood was terrific. I had a traditional Scottish and Irish breakfast. So like haggis, blood pudding, which was good. It's just dry. Yeah. It's dry and salty. I wouldn't say like if you're going there for the cuisine, like I guess I don't know, it wasn't bad. Like I didn't have any spotted dick because I was in England, but I mean like I had a haggis burger at this one restaurant, which was top shelf. It was amazing. It was succulent. The meat was good. The one thing I will say, like the breakfast tea is awesome. Like tea, they do tea well over there.
Yep.
Their coffee, if you're a coffee drinker, you're going to be disappointed. Their coffee game is not good. Bailey went and ordered an Americano from this one little cafe. It was water with some coffee grinds, basically. Like it was just putrid. I took a sip and like I'm not a coffee guy, but I took a sip and I was like, what? And then but basically you have to go to a Starbucks. Like you have to go to a Starbucks to drink coffee, or you're just not gonna have a good time in the UK.
Yeah.
And Ireland was better because they like Irish coffee and stuff like that, which is just coffee with booze.
Yeah.
But it's good. Like Ireland, their coffee game is on point. The food was good.
Cool. Who made better fish and chips, the Irish or the Scottish?
Scots.
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ireland. However, Ireland, they did I had a dinner of it was like a mince pie with mushy peas.
Okay,
in Ireland, it was better. The mince pie was better in Ireland.
Interesting.
I found.
Yes.
But so we went up to St. Andrews. I actually I went into a kilt maker in St. Andrews,
Okay,
and
yes.
I went in there, and the guy, he had like the smoky oak barrel Scottish accent. He was like, I've been making kilts here for over 40 years. I was like, do you have my tartan? He pulled out his book, and he found my modern Fraser Lovett tartan, and I bought one. So I got it measured.
Yes.
I got it measured to fit, and
Nice.
it'll be here in August.
Right on.
So I got one in my own tartan. So that was
Good.
That was big.
Good. Yeah.
Then we went up to see where my grandfather was from, Inverness, Nairn.
Nice.
Now the entire time I was there, I was very good. I never, like, here I'm the Scottish guy, but there I was just like, I'm from Canada.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
You're on your best behavior, yes.
But when I was in there, because I was telling people, because there was a few people in Edinburgh, like we stayed with this lady was a saint that we stayed with in Edinburgh, and she's like, oh, so are you here for your heritage? I was like, yeah, actually, my grandfather's from here. And so they were very welcoming to that idea that, like, oh, your heritage is Scottish. Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Like, I hope you enjoy it. Like, that was great. Everybody was very welcoming for that. So it's all attitude, right? So that was good. But when I was in there, that was very emotional, because like that was where my grandfather was from. And I went to the one chip shop, and Bailey was at the bookstore. She didn't want fish and chips. She wasn't hungry. So I went to the chip shop, and I was just talking to the guy that ran it, and he's like, oh, so what's your last name? I was like, Fraser. And he's like, oh, there's a lot of you fuckers, yeah. I was like, well, my grandfather's from here. I said, I was just kind of checking out the town, because he said he was from there. He's like, oh, really? All right, yeah. I was like, yeah. He's like, what was his name? I explained the family story. And he was just like, I was like, well, I hope you enjoy your fish and chips and you enjoy your stay, and welcome home, lad. And that was like, that meant everything to me. Was that part of the trip? I was like, oh wow, that I didn't expect any acknowledgement.
That's awesome.
To get that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I went across, saw Urquhart Castle, went to Loch Ness, traditional Fraser lands, the Highlands in Glencoe, Fort William. That was just magic. And then I'm going back at some point, but that was you feel it in your soul. It's the closest thing I felt to having a soul was in that moment in the Highlands.
I bet.
And then coming down, we spent the last 2 days in Glasgow before we flew over. And of course we were in Glasgow for the Scottish Cup final between Celtic and Rangers.
Oh, that would have been fun.
And they were fucking drunk. And I
bet.
I went to Celtic Park. I got video
nice.
Of them celebrating after the cup win. A very, very, very drunk girl was twerking on the vending machine in the chip shop. We were in Glasgow. I was like, all right. Talked to some lovely people in Glasgow. They were I pulled out my Celtic shirt, and they were just like, oh, you're Canadian, you're a Celtic man. I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, it's a great fucking game today. Let's beat those Hun bastards. I was like, yes, we did. We fucked up. However, I noticed that we were there Saturday night after they won. And I couldn't imagine that. This is like if the Oilers won the cup against the Flames, or the Leafs beat the Canadians in the cup final.
Or you beat a rival in the cup final. Yeah.
Huge. Yeah, exactly. And this is the first time they've played Rangers in the cup final since 2002. And Rangers won that one. So this was long time coming in revenge. So this was just elation. Yeah. And they won the double because they won the league too. And I guess 2 weeks before we were there, Celtic won the league. And then I guess they went crazy. And the Scottish police had a hell of a time trying to get it. I saw a little bit of East Glasgow, and I was like, okay, this gets a little crazy. But when we were there, so they won the cup, the police went to all the bars. Yeah. And they said they just won the cup, but they said, you're shutting down at 10 o'clock. That's it. I can't even imagine after the Oilers win the cup, they shut everything down at 10 o'clock.
They wouldn't have. Yeah. If they would have beat Florida a couple of weeks back and that stuff in that game 7,
it would have been party central.
It would have been 10 a.m.
Yeah. And nobody would have been at work the next day.
No, of course
it was shaping up to be like that.
and so I was also actually heartbroken they lost. They came so close. But
yeah, I know.
We were there, but we going to all these different bars. I was like, I don't believe it. But all these pub owners are like, sorry, pub's closed. We have to close. We can't let anybody in. I'm so sorry. You've come all this way. Right. And so we went to the little off license, the little liquor store. We bought a couple tall boys, but the guy's like, I have to close up really quick. Sorry, just buy you a beer and get out. Yeah. So I was like, oh, no worries. We'll be out of here. So we went back to Celtic Park. We drank a couple beers when everything was kind of died down.
Yeah.
But there was these drunk Celtic fans that were still hanging around, and they were trying to find, I guess, a relative of theirs, because you can buy the little stars on their Walk of Fame for like fans and stuff.
Okay.
Like a charity thing that they did a while back.
Yeah.
So they're looking for their relative's star that they bought. They couldn't find it, and then the Celtic coach and what's his name? Fuck, I can't remember his name. He's the manager, and the assistant manager are coming out of the stadium because they were going to the after party.
Yeah.
After the match.
Yeah.
Because they all went from Hampden back to Celtic Park, and had the big elation celebrations, and then they were going to, the players and the coaches were going somewhere else.
Yeah, going somewhere else. Yeah.
And as they were walking by, this one drunk Celtic fan looks over at the coach and goes, "Aye, fuck the Huns." Which is the nickname they have for Rangers. And they all start laughing, and then the coach and it was, I don't know, it would be like seeing I guess like Chris Noblack and Ken Holland getting into a Honda Civic together, because they were catching an Uber. Clearly, they were getting into an
Nice.
Uber.
Yeah.
So they start getting into this car, and the one guy goes, because the thing is, Forrest McAllister, he used to be a goalkeeper for them. Now he's one of their assistant managers.
Okay. Yeah.
And he jumps out. He goes, "Hey, McAllister." He's like, "You really getting into a Honda Civic? Are you? Wanker, where's your fucking Porsche, man?" It was so
Give it
funny.
to this poor guy's like, I can't win.
The
I
guy's
can't
just
win.
trying. He's
Even when
just
I win, I
getting-
can't win.
Even when I win, I can't win.
Even when I win, I can't win.
So yeah, Glasgow's funny.
Yeah.
I had somebody explained it to me beautifully, because somebody had been to Canada that had said basically Edinburgh is Montreal and Glasgow is Hamilton, Ontario. Just is a working class town. So then we puddle jumped the next day. We got a plane, just an hour flight to Dublin. Then we instantly got our car, went south to Cork, and then up through the Ring of Kerry, Killarney, and then up to Limerick, and then Galway, and then Cliffs of Moher, and then we went back to Dublin to finish it off, and that was great. Because in the UK they use miles and miles per hour, and then in UK or in Ireland, Republic of Ireland, they use kilometers.
Yeah.
But when we were in Dublin, that was great. We went to the Guinness factory. That was like the closest thing to Willy Wonka's factory. So that was a great trip.
Cool. Right on. Well, we're glad that you
realized
enjoyed
something.
yourself and had some fun and that stuff, everything, obviously, and that's it. So I'm just going to tell the Undertaker to rest in peace.
I was gonna say, how are they? He's already gone.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say the Canadian defender Alistair Johnston
Yes,
plays for Celtic.
that's right.
So
Yeah,
Craig would have seen him in that game.
I think so. Yeah, if he comes back, he
He
apparently
just
just
blew his head off with a sneeze.
It's a wormhole he took off to. So that's it. I was just going to wrap up the show, but because we're nope. It's just the void has come in and through and grabbed it. Yeah.
That was abrupt. I'll give you that.
It's like a John Carpenter film at this point now, and this is like
I feel like when he comes back, it's gonna be like just covered in goop.
Yeah, it's gonna say
Covered in goop.
disappear.
Not goop.
Goop.
When
Hey!
you walk
He's got the jersey.
through a storm, hold your head. Hey, Drew McIntyre, hope you fucking watch this.
But
CM Punk at the presser wearing the Celtic shirt after. What a
Yes,
move.
he was.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
a move.
that was awesome, eh?
Hey, Drew. Drew, this is a championship team right here, not like
Uh-oh.
your pathetic Hun bastards. Ah!
By the way, Craig, you might have been the only Canadian in that crowd watching that game with the Canadian defender who plays for Celtic, Alistair Johnston.
Alistair Johnston, yep.
Was he playing?
He was on the squad. I don't know if he was on the pitch that game, but he was definitely on the squad. They like him over there. I was mentioning because I said I'm Canadian. They're like, Alistair Johnston's on the team. I was like, I do know that.
Yeah, there you go. See?
And the day that I'm so stupid, I didn't look at it in advance.
Mm.
When we were the next day, the Sunday, or we were still in Glasgow, they had the Old Boys game they had all these Celtic legends.
Oh
play.
yeah, that's for the
Yeah.
Legends game or
They
whatever.
do a lot of
Yeah.
those. They were playing
Yeah.
Borussia Dortmund in a reprise of their 2002 UEFA Championship semifinal match, and
Okay.
Sergio Samaras was on the field. I was like, Samaras! I was trying to get a picture. I was gonna wait outside the stadium. I was like, I gotta go see Samaras.
Borussia Dortmund, the German team.
Yep.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, crazy.
They had the BVB, like their
Yeah,
logo on the
BVB.
bus. They had all their buses out there and everything. It was
Yeah,
really
all
cool.
that yellow and black.
Oh yeah, and then the green and white was there, baby.
Yeah.
We were there in Spain.
It looks like a Rough Riders versus Tie Cats.
Hey,
I bet.
this is the greatest team in Scotland, I'll tell you. Celtic United won the double. Fuck the Huns.
Oh man, right
That was
on.
great.
There we go.
I do want one last thing I was gonna say, because we were in Guinness. I was gonna everybody kept saying, try the Guinness. You know what? It was not much different for me.
Good.
But at first I was disappointed, but I thought about it for a bit and I was like, you know what? That's actually a good thing,
Yes.
because that means they have quality control.
Yes.
So when you have a Guinness over here, I guess it was probably smoother. It's maybe a little bit more creamier over there, but
Yeah.
it tasted like Guinness.
Mhm.
So I'm like, that means that what you're drinking over here is still a good product. Still a good Guinness.
You know how good that would be if a Big Mac here tasted the same as a Big Mac in another country? Never
Yeah.
happens.
Never happens.
But hey, that would be great.
It was
So
pretty
for a
good.
Guinness to do that, pretty good.
And I learned how to pour it properly.
There
Oh
we go.
yeah, let it sit for a
Yes.
bit.
I did the
and
class.
refill.
So what you do is you have to do it in a Guinness glass.
Yes.
And when you're pulling draft. So
Yeah.
what you do is you keep it at that 45 angle. There you go, Ty.
There you go. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So you keep that at a 45 angle
Mhm.
and you tilt it with the harp towards the spigot on the
Okay.
harp logo. No, the yellow harp logo. on the
Yellow
glass.
harp.
It's not yellow, but
Other
you can
side.
see there's a harp.
Yeah, that's the big glass one. But I'm saying where the Guinness logo is.
Oh,
So you would face
The
the
other
Guinness.
side,
Yeah, you would face the Guinness
you go, yeah.
logo. You basically hold it up straight,
Mhm.
and then you would tilt it 45 degrees toward the tap.
Yep.
With the harp logo facing down, basically.
down.
So, yeah, like that. But you would hold it 45 degrees. Yeah. So if the tap, so you want it facing the tap like that. Pull it all the way open, right? So you keep it at that 45 as it's filling it up.
Mhm.
Keep it filling up until it gets to the bottom of the harp.
Yeah.
And then start slowly standing it straight. And then when it gets to the top of the harp, kill it.
Yeah.
And then you got to let it rise.
Yeah, you gotta let it sit.
Rise. Let it sit. And once it gets completely dark and black, then you hold it straight underneath, push it forward, and let it get that little top bubble. You get about a little head on it, and that is how you pour your Guinness.
There we go.
There we go.
That's how you do it.
Rock and roll.
And
I
then
have a glass here.
the only thing,
I have one of
only
those too somewhere.
only thing that was
I think I remember that
aggravating on that trip, the Irish people were great. The Scottish people were great. Even the English tourists that were there were nice and funny. And the other Europeans, of course, the only thing that was nails on a chalkboard was if you heard that twangy sound and voice and people from America, because they can't just say that they're from the United States.
No,
They-
no.
We're in our tour group and everything. We're like, where are you from? We're from Canada. There was a nice little Spanish couple, and they're like, oh, we're from Spain. Where are you guys from? Oh, we're from Germany. And then where are you from? From Bridgeton Township in Tennessee. Like, who the fuck care? Say you're from the States, but
No. Yeah. That is so funny you say that. I've never heard an American say I'm from America. They
Never.
say what state they're from.
the
Yes.
state.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
say
they
the
always
state.
go by what state. Oh, I'm from Tennessee. I
Tennessee.
don't know what the fuck that is. It's
Well,
like,
and
say you're American. Never.
It didn't matter. Like, we went to Charles Fort, which is this old fort, was right on the city in Kinsale. It was like a British fort that they fought with the Irish and the Spanish Armada came through there. And of course there was like us. And then it was like, actually there was a couple from Alabama. They were very nice. They were like, again, they're like, we're from Alabama,
Alabama.
USA. I was like, I almost was like, I almost was just, I almost went, oh wait, Chayo, just to see if I could fuck with them. But I mean, or say like LSU, I don't know.
I thought you were gonna go with the Forrest Gump route because he's from
Nice.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama. but I mean, so that's the thing is so they're nice. We're from Alabama, and then the other we're from New Jersey, USA,
Jersey.
Oh, Jersey. Yeah.
and then this
Jersey.
guy,
from Jersey.
this guy, and I mean this is
This
not.
guy.
I'm also this is the day I'm wearing
This
my
guy.
Leafs jersey.
Oh,
I'm wearing my Wendell Clark jersey.
Yeah.
And the last couple is this older guy. He's kind of this portly guy, and he goes like, "Well, I'm from Massachusetts." And I was like, "Oh fuck, here we go."
Here we go. Yeah.
Like, and this is right after the Leafs lost to Boston. So I was like, "God damn it, I'm wearing the jersey." I'm just a beacon, but he
It's
wasn't.
like, crap.
He wasn't a hockey fan, but I guess.
Okay.
But here's the thing: he was telling the story because it was the little group of us. There was the Spanish couple, the German couple, and then the 3 American couples and us. And the Irish tour guide is trying to start the tour, and he's like, "You guys enjoying your stop in Ireland, are you?" And then the guy's like, the mass hole, basically starts. This is the story. This was his story. The story was, I wanted to go see this old Irish band that was here, that was in Dublin.
They're
U2.
called U2.
No. It wasn't U2. It was this like Irish folk band. It's a famous Irish folk band.
oh, the Killers.
Yeah. I think they're American, aren't they?
No, they are Irish.
Are
I
they?
think
Yeah, Killers are Irish.
I'm doing a Google. Hang on here.
No, because the lead
Killers
singer
are Irish, baby.
The lead singer is Mormon.
So you can't be Mormon Irish.
There's no Mormons in Ireland. I don't think so. I don't
The
think so.
Killers are an American rock band formed in Las Vegas in 2001.
Get the fuck out of here.
No,
So they're American. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I figured, is that they were from Vegas. Yeah.
Much music lied to me when I was a kid.
Yes, they did, I guess.
Or you just caught a Killers video after a YouTube video and they were talking about the Irish band that was on before. It was
Maybe.
YouTube.
Ow.
Anyway, the story was he couldn't get tickets, and at the last minute he was at the venue and he was able to get tickets and see them. That was the story. What we got was a 25-minute diatribe about how he's like, "Wow, I got a friend back home. He's a chief executive officer of a very important company, and he couldn't even get tickets. And he called his mother-in-law, and she was big old mighty family in New England. He couldn't get tickets.
How come he sounds like Adam Sandler from Boston?
He sounds like Adam Sandler doing an Australian accent.
He couldn't get tickets.
Turning a fucking
And
Bluey
then-
over here.
And then he comes over there and he's like, "Why you could not get no tickets?"
There you go.
Basically,
You just made him chortle.
he just he couldn't get tickets. So like,
No.
and like it was just brutal. It was just brutal. But the worst is, so we bought our Guinness storehouse passes. So one of them is you pour the Guinness, you learn how to pour the Guinness, and you drink that one. And then you have another free drink with your admission with like a $25 ticket.
Back into the mic.
$25 ticket. You go up to the top,
There you go.
and there's an observatory at the top of the Guinness storehouse, and you panoramic views of Dublin. It's beautiful.
Yeah, of course.
You get another free pint of Guinness. So we got our second pint, and we're kind of walking around, and you can see off into the distance. You can see the Dublin Mountains off to the east,
Oh, cool.
just before the bay, and they have like
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Cathedral, and you have all these different cathedrals over there. Amazing. Got to hand it to the Christians; they could build a church. So we can. We're just kind of looking off, and it's really nice, and waiting for my Guinness to settle so I can start drinking it. And drink deep. Don't sip Guinness. You have to drink big swaths of Guinness. That's what they say. And so this other couple walks up. They're probably in their 40s.
Yeah.
And again, he's got this kind of accent like that, and he walks up to us. He goes, "Hey, are you guys from around here?" And I'm like,
No.
we're like, no, we're from Canada. He goes, "Oh, yeah, Arizona. I'm from Arizona." And he goes, he's like, "Yeah." So his wife's with him. He's like, "We can't." It looks like they're like almost like they're on like a treasure hunt because he's got like a map out and he's like looking out, and he's just like, "We can't." I'm looking off in the distance there. You see those big kind of mountains in distance? We're like, yeah, we see those. He's like, "Is that Scotland?" And I just kind of stopped for a second because I was like, I couldn't talk. I was so mad. I said, "I get it that the American education system's in disarray right now, but
Yeah.
I said no." I don't know if you know this,
Just
but
nice, like, no.
the Celtic Sea, which is about the size of the state of Connecticut, is between us and the UK right now. Not to mention, he's like, well, I know that is west.
Yeah.
He points west. That's west. I know that's west. I took my phone out right in front of him. I put my compass out. We were due east. We were facing due east. I was like, well, first of all,
He's wrong.
I was like, even if that was the UK, which it's fucking not. I was like, dude, that's like me standing outside of my house here in the Duke now and being like, why can't I see Manitoba? Like,
is that Saskatchewan over there? No, that's Alberta.
Is that Saskatoon? Is that Saskatoon?
No, that's Edmonton, sir.
I said, and Bailey was doing all this talking for me, by the way, because I was literally standing.
I bet, yeah. Sometimes it's nice, to have the
just try
the gentler side go.
I don't know why it got to me so much. It was just so stupid. But
I do have one very last question for you.
Okay.
When did the bagpipes of your heart just sing the most? There's got to be that moment where, like, you feel the most patriotically Scottish. The moment in the chip shop, that's a very touching moment, and that's a very personal moment.
That's nice.
But that moment where, like, the bagpipes of your heart just ring out. When did that happen?
That was probably at Culloden Battlefield. I did see Bannockburn, where that was, and like that was a very and that one was a very triumphant feeling.
Yeah.
Where it was just like. Where it's just like, oh, you won here, and the fields are red with English blood.
There you go. Guy.
But when we were at Culloden, that was when that was like, because we learned the whole story. Also, really found out that Bonnie Prince Charlie was just a dick. Like, fuck him. He wasn't even born in Scotland. He was the grandson of King James, who was the Stuart king, who was the king of Scotland and England, but he was already exiled. And so Bonnie Prince Charlie was born and raised in France or in Italy. He grew up in Rome. And then he's like, I want to be king. And so he wasn't even Scottish. And so he went back to Scotland. He's like, I'm Catholic. And they were like, all the Highlanders were like, we don't like Protestants. And so they just fought for, but then after he ran away after Culloden. I was like, you fucking bastard. Anyway, we had Culloden Battlefield and we saw the moor where they had the graves of the Fraser, and they had the rock that says Fraser on it.
Oh wow!
And I went to they have the position still where they have the British line, and basically like after seeing it, like it was like they had no chance. Yeah. It was a peat bog, and they were trying to do a night raid, but they got caught. It was in a thunderstorm, and so the Jacobites, the Scots, which that was another big thing. It wasn't just England versus Scotland. There was Scots, Irish, British on both sides, right? It was Catholic Protestant thing. It was about who do you want to be king? But there was mostly Highlanders on the Jacobite side. There were Scots on the side of the British. They had the Dragoon, the Royal Highlanders that were in the Redcoat Army that fought against Jacobites. So you had Scot on Scot, Brit on Brit, Irish on Irish even. So that was something interesting I didn't know before. And so, but we went to the Jacobite line. And they had the Fraser kind of this is where they stood. And that's where I stood there. And I looked across and I could see the flag, the red flag on it. And I was just like, let them come, the bastards! There's still one Scotsman on Culloden Moor that draws breath. That was the moment probably.
Wait. I need you to do it again. Hold on.
No. He's going full Fraser triggered here.
It's a good. Yeah. I stand on the battlefield of Culloden Moor. You cannot tame this lion heart. You English cunts. You stand there with your rifles and your muskets. I take out my broadsword and your barrels of shit can't hurt me. Fire your cannons. You royalty pantaloon wearing bastard.
Nice.
You will die by my broadsword. and again, even at Culloden Battlefield, there was another American tourist. But Bailey and I were walking up, and there was like a little like stone fence that they used to like flank the Jacobites, the British.
Yeah.
but they recreated it and stuff. And as we're walking by, this guy's like calling after his wife, and he's talking like this. And he goes, honey, this is the wall that the Jezebels or whoever their name was did. the Jezebels or whatever their name was. I was like, oh my fuck. Jesus.
The jackrabbits.
The jackrabbits.
Yeah. Well,
the frostbites.
I think with that, we're 2 hours into this thing, and we've long since wrapped doing Money in the Bank. So,
hey, more important things are at stake here.
So,
the man's return from his homeland. And we've returned to wrestling. I mean, I wish it was a nicer event, but still.
Yes.
Storm. Hold your head up high. And don't cheer for Drew. He's a cunt. I saw his thing where he got like inducted into like the Scottish Sports Hall of Fame. He's like, I'm so glad you're doing it here at Ibrox. And I was like, yeah, shit box that it is. Fucking Ranger bastard. Who's the real champions of Glasgow? Who is it, Drew? Who is it?
All right.
Time for bed.
Yes. Yes. All right, folks. Well, for Mr. TL, for CraigPFraser, and for myself, all our socials are like, you know them, so whatever.
Mine's missing.
Boom. There it is.
There.
And then you can go talk to him. Boom. And that's I think we got hit up by a scammer in the comments. That was hilarious. We just got
mine's missing.
He's like, I am poor. Please help me, sir.
Yeah, exactly.
Please help me. Please help me. Please help me. Please help me with the butt.
Yeah, so that's interesting. That's a first. So there we go.
I gave him my bank account information.
Well, I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised with what he does.
Oh no!
Don't get scammed, everybody. Don't get.
Could you imagine if you were a robber and on the other side of the door was Craig? Holy shit!
You want what?
No, I'm trying to imagine you're a robber and you think, oh, this place is great, and you go, and it's right after this podcast, and CraigPFraser is still triggered at the point of, you know, Scotland and everything like that, and all of a sudden he hears a crash upstairs, and he's like, "Aye!" And it takes off.
Who rings my door at 10 o'clock?
Any robber coming to my house at dark is in for a rude surprise because I sleep in the buff and I have an aluminum bat under my bed.
So an angry, triggered Fraser that's
naked,
live nude,
with a steel bat.
Steel bat. Oh God.
You sleep in the buff and I live in the Baja.
Bastard.
I live in the Baja.
In the buff.
We would sleep naked in the Baja.
In the Baja. we do that to rechristen our pores to the earth.
Get sinking with Mother Nature's musk.
That's right.
Okay. Good to be back.
If you have an event you'd like for us to cover and that stuff, nitromaniactv@gmail.com. By the way, we're starting the classic Nitro Steak review rotation again where we left off. So Mr. TL had the last show. It is up to CraigPFraser. Your turn to pick a show.
Turn.
It is
Sounds
your
good.
turn, yes. So we will do Craig's show whenever he gets that in to us.
Yes.
And like I said, I think the next show we'll do will be a SummerSlam Nitro Steak sometime after SummerSlam.
Yes.
That's for sure. And then maybe something about that run, or maybe like a classic show or something like that in between or whatever. But it's summertime. I got stuff going on with my other channel at the Drag Files, because we got like our big event, the Rocky Mountain Nationals, coming up this coming weekend. And then I have like legit, I think I did the math. I think it's like 4 races in 6 weeks. I got to go cover for that. So it's going to be an insanely busy summer on that side. And then once I get back from that, then we can focus more on the wrestling channel again and get stuff out. But yes, we got stuff coming. We are back, but just be patient with us here.
Enjoy the summer. How about that?
Exactly. Enjoy the summer. Yeah. Enjoy the summer.
We'll be back when there's a SummerSlam or something. Until then, enjoy the summer, damn it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. So for Fraser, for TL, for myself. We'll catch you next time here on the old Nitromaniac TV's Wrestling Unlimited.
You got the little man, you got the big man, and you got the bigger man.